brand new purple light things, brand new purple light things, facts, brand new purple light print, red and blue, purple light prints, facts. You can get to know the ledger, sacrilegious, Sunday to melanin Monday. You can get to know the ledger, my love. Just open your third eye on Thursday. Lord, the food, the art, the clothes, the Vatican's getting exposed fast. We put the show on the road, you better stay on your toes. I was till the land focused on the ego, then I open my heart, let go of the ego. Grand after grand, we're stacking up these C notes. Facts, facts, yeah, we gon' put this shit on our backs. Facts, facts, we in your city, pull up where we at. Facts, peace, love and light, peace, love to the family, peace, love and light to the family, peace, love and light to the family.
These days and time, black man, is going to be the time that you have been waiting for. You came here for a reason. Whatever pressure, whatever adversity, whatever the fuck you feel, I don't know what you feel, but whatever you may be feeling is going to push you, and it's going to provoke you, and it's either going to make you or break you, similar to how pressure busts pipes or the shit makes diamonds.
Brand new purple light things, brand new purple light things, facts, brand new purple light print, red and blue, purple light prints, facts. Get to know the ledger, sacrilegious, Sunday to melanin Monday. You can get to know the ledger, my love. Just open your third eye on Thursday. Lord, the food, the art, the clothes, the Vatican's getting exposed fast. We put the show on the road, you better stay on your toes. I was till the land focused on the key.
Check. Peace to the family, peace to the family, peace to you and yours, peace to you and yours, peace to you and yours. Welcome to Saturday Night Live. You are now rocking with the best. Yes, this is your host for the evening, Brother Red Pillar, reporting live and direct. And let me know how we doing on the audio. I was just having some little audio issues and whatnot. Let me know what we sounding like on the audio. And that song that you just heard right there, that is the Facts remix, all right, by the 44 Tops. I mean, you know, I'm biased, but I'm saying the song of the year right there. Sorry, Kendrick. Yeah, I'm talking about sorry, Kendrick, but are we low on the audio? All right, how we sound now? Gotta turn shit up. How we sound right now? And another thing, let me know me know, because I like the thank y'all for letting me know that we low on the audio. Hopefully I turned that up and we good on the audio and whatnot. You know what I mean? We gotta get the audio right. But the song, the Facts remix. Facts remix. At the end, when I say I don't know what the F is, it's a hard F. Might have to bleep that out because the youth is listening to that. I might have to take the F word out. It's a hard F. You know what I'm talking about? It lands real heavy out of nowhere. And you know, I want to be responsible moving forward. We got the babies bopping to that. You know what I'm saying? So y'all let me know how y'all feel about that. Even though the speech is classic. You feel me? Even though the speech is classic and it's some grown man-ish, you know what I'm saying? It is some grown man business. This is cosmic soul. This is for my elders. This is for my my boomers, like my pops and them. This is a love letter to the OGs that rock with us. So, you know, you let me know. You let me know. You said, is it storming in the ATL? Nah. Why y'all asking me that? Do it sound like that? Oh shit, the bomb is still on? Hold on. What are we doing? Oh shit. I didn't hear that. I'm sorry. What the hell? They got the bomb drop, man. Okay. Let me turn. I got the heater on. That's what it was. Probably you hear the heater. The Funk Master Flex bombs. All right, so let me know how we sounding right now, because y'all literally would have me rocking the whole show, and it'd be bombs going off and all kind of stuff, and I wouldn't even know. It was crazy. Yeah, I don't know what was going on. I couldn't even hear that in my headphones. What the hell? We good now? Okay, yeah. It's all peaceful. We not we not carpet bombing, you know what I'm saying? This ain't the Ukraine and whatnot. You know what I mean? It is it's all peace over here. Listen. It's November the 30th. It's November the 30th. The last day of the bomber clot, quote unquote, what they call it, the Jason months. Okay. It's the last day of the Jason months. We are here. We made it. We have arrived. You feel me? It's been a rocky Jason month. I'm here to let you know in case you didn't realize it. It's been a real bumpy ass Jason months. You feel me? But we're here now. We are here. Okay. We got work to do. You smell me? We do have work to do. And I was like, I'm gonna do a show today, and I'm gonna open up the lines. I'm gonna make this a call-in show, because I want to hear, you know, from the family. I want to hear from the KT aliens and whatnot. You know, I just want to tap in with y'all and know, you just take the temperature, just see where everybody is at and whatnot. And how do we make it through these Jason months? Big distractions, a lot of shit going down. Yeah, it's cold as a polar bear toenail in Atlanta too. That's why mine has on a heater. We got the heat on in the house, and I got the little portable heater for my ankles and shit, because I don't like my ankles to be cold. Because it's you know, the Jack Frost is biting in my office right now. So, you know. But let's go ahead and do the roll call. You feel me? Let's go ahead and do the roll call. Let's see who's in the building and whatnot. Let's tap in with let's tap in with the family. If you hear me chewing, no disrespect. Mine is I'm you know, I'm eating a sandwich. You know what I'm talking about? Niggas human. But let's do the roll call and let's see who is in the building. And then we're gonna chop it up. We're gonna chop up some game. And we're going to go ahead and open up the lines. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have it, get your wig on, get everything right. You know what I'm talking about? Get everything right, you know, and we're going to go live. Philly in the building, Georgia in the building, Greensboro, Oklahoma, Chicago, Texas in the building, Cali's in the building, South Carolina's in the building, Chino Hills is in the building. Huh? Palm Beach, Florida is up in this thing. Texas, Hartford, Connecticut, Florida. We have the Bay Area. We have South Kakalaka, DMV, Bowie, Maryland, Hartford, Connecticut, Indiana, Virginia, Belize. New Bedford is in the building. Vegas is here. We got the Bronx tapping in. Norfolk. We got Hollywood. You know what I'm talking about? Philly in the building. Memphis is in the building. Pasadena, Australia, Tucson, Jacksonville. You dig? Tucson. We have Rochester. Salute to the Rochester family. We have Ireland up in this thing. Columbus, Ohio, Sacktown, Charlotte, the BX, Fort Worth, Texas, Oxnard, Big Mississippi, Bridgeport, AZ up in this. Shout out to AZ. You dig? Shout out to with my IG. I'm over here with y'all IG. Where y'all at, man? What's up with the IG family? Salute to y'all. Salute to the YouTube. And we streaming on what's that site? Twitch. We streaming on Twitch right now. I'm this is my attempt at streaming. You know, I'm on my Cosnet shit right now. You know what I mean? You know, y'all be tapping my content. And what content is that? Please let me know. Bronx is in the building. Oklahoma City is in the building. Honolulu is in the building. You dig? Okay, so we got the globe tapping in. We got people from around the globe up in this thing. You know what I'm talking about? Dayton, Ohio. You know what I mean? Intergalactica. Huh? We got Detroit. What up, though? You know what I mean? What up, though? Yeah. Los Angeles. Shout out to Los Angeles. You dig? Yeah, man. So yeah, Mrs. Oh, what how you pronounce that? Where that's at? Where is that at? That's outside. What are we doing? Worldwide. You know what I'm talking about? Worldwide. All right. So peace to everybody. Peace to everybody tapping in. Salute. You know what I'm talking about? Happy Saturn Day to all in the building. Ontario, the 6th. You feel me? Shout out to the 6th. Newport News up in this thing. All right now. That's what's up. So yeah, man. So we tapped in. You feel me? The fam is in the building. Salute to everybody. Peace, love, and light. You know what I'm talking about? I hope everybody's day, I hope everybody strong in is doing what it's supposed to do. You know what I mean? Me personally, it was a laid back day for me. I ain't do much, you know. I don't even know what the days are anymore, to be honest with you. It's just a blur. You know what I'm saying? But I've been chilling, staying focused, you know what I'm saying, handling business and whatnot, dealing with these orders. We got this sale, this Black Friday sale, that went kind of crazy out of nowhere. So we just been working in the lab. I wanted to have a conversation. I brought this up the other day, and I'm working on a video that I've been doing. I've been doing research. I've been heavy in the lab doing some research because I don't know why. It just really something piqued my interest, and I was like, I'm gonna make a video about it. I'm gonna do a bit of research, and I'm gonna do a video about it. And the video that I'm doing is kind of like multi-tiered and whatnot. It's not just one topic. It's dealing with the speculation market on the internet. It's dealing with the death of the quote unquote influencer and the rise of it's the death of the influencer and the rise of the creator economy, right? I'm focusing on the influencer economy, you know, kind of like dying out, and the creator economy taking over. Okay. And then we're also dealing with the speculation market. You know what I mean? The speculation market, a great A great example of the speculation market will be poly market, right? Or it will be prize, what is that called? Prize bets, um, fan duel, right? The online betting craze that really crescendoed in 2024. It's always been around, but this is the year, in my humble opinion, where it started going crazy because people on my timeline and people that I know personally, they've been getting lucky, you know what I'm saying? And it also brought me into doing mad research on the streamers, okay? And the streamers, in my humble opinion, have the best year for 2024. It belongs to the streamers. This is the year that the YouTubers, right? I would say DJ Academics would be like a poster child for what I'm referring to when I say the YouTubers. And Kai Sinet will be the poster child for what I would say is the streamers on the black side, on the melanated, hip hop Negro side. But on the other white side, they have a lot of other examples like Aiden Ross, all of those white boys that helped Trump get in office. Theo Vaughn, the Red Pill movement, and I ain't talking about me. I'm talking about the Red Pill movement. This very huge on the white side, men going their own way type shit. You know what I mean? The Red Pill movement, Andrew Tate, and all of them. Those are YouTubers, and they kind of like lost. They didn't lose anything, but the era of the streamer is here. So I had to do a deep dive on the streamer community. I had to go ahead and go do my due diligence and start doing research on these streamers and whatnot. There's like a top 5 in my category. There's I Show Speed, there's Kai Sinet, there's Aiden Ross, there's who is the other two? It's on the top of my head, but I don't. Oh, Drewski. No, not Drewski. There's a few of them. And Theo is an open racist from the MTV show. Yeah. Get comfortable and get very comfortable. You're gonna have there's gonna be a lot of racists. There's gonna be a lot of racists with bullhorns in the next 4 years. I wouldn't call Khalil the top. I would say AMP more so. I would say AMP with Duke Dennis and I would say Duke Dennis, Agent and all of them, they would be part of that top 5 because AMP as a collective, they making a lot of noise and whatnot. Let me get you my Twitch thing. I need y'all niggas to come and sign up to this Twitch page because we're gonna have fun on the Twitchington. The key though is, I just have to find my lane on Twitch because of course streaming is your young man's game, right? Streaming is seen as a young man's game. However, you said Kai disrespects black people too. Yeah, but like I said, I'm not here for all of that. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, these dudes are doing what they're doing. The Kai Sinet that I saw, the things that I've experienced when I went over there, I didn't see him disrespecting anybody. These are teenagers, mind you. These are young adults coming out of teenagers. So I give them a lot of rope, right? I currently was watching drill rappers killing each other. You know what I mean? I was traumatized watching the drill rappers over the last few months from Philadelphia, New York, right? This is what I was subjected to. So when I see somebody from the Bronx making a way by sitting around and redefining what entertainment is, because that's exactly what they're doing. They are overhauling the entertainment world by, they're the new faces of entertainment. These are fucking kids, you know what I mean? And they're not talking about drilling and killing. You know what I'm talking about? They not promoting the fuckery. You know what I'm saying? The shit that keeps me up at night. So this is the I don't nah. You're not gonna get me to sit around and hate on these children. I ain't the one. I'm not gonna do it. You could do that, but you're not gonna get me. Y'all, you know, nothing makes you niggas happy. You know what I'm saying? This is the New York that I want to go back to. This is the New York that I want to go back to. You feel me? This is the New York that I remember. This is the New York that we kind of did a lot of work. Y'all talk about people doing spirit you talk about people doing their fucking spirit work and you know what I mean? Like imagine all of the work that was done on 125th Street to create an energy, a frequency like this. Imagine all of the work that we was out there doing. Imagine a lot of shadow work. You feel me? A lot of shadow work. You know, a lot of shadow work, bro. A lot of heavy lifting. We put in a lot of work in that city, bro, to create an environment where it was wild alkaline and something like this was able to happen. This was 12 years ago. Okay, we was outside, niggas. We was outside doing the work while people, you know, some of our biggest detractors and whatnot were nowhere to be seen. Never spent a fucking day in the streets. We was putting in mad work. And I'm not putting this thing that you see right here. I'm not being egotistical and saying that this has everything to do with what niggas in Harlem was doing, but I remember that environment. I remember walking around New York and feeling wild safe. I remember being in New York and being able to look around and be like, yo, this wasn't like this 10 years ago when we first started out. You know what I'm saying? And we seeing progress. We're seeing progress in our city, bro. And that shit was able to reverberate in other cities as well. This is pre-drill. This is before the drill culture. This is before Pop Smoke and them. This is before the fuckery started. This is before Gotham City, bro. So whenever I see anybody from New York City stepping out and they doing different than what these little niggas is doing, spreading murder and mayhem and all kind of anarchy. Come on, fam. You think I'm gonna be a lame and hate on that? I don't know where you niggas come from. But nah, we ain't doing that. We pushing positivity. So with these young streamers and whatnot, they not perfect. If I mention somebody's name, please, for the life of me, don't get this is not a religious channel. This is not a channel where if I say somebody's name, this is not follow the leader. You niggas is not, it's not, I'm not exonerating nobody for their antics. When I say somebody's name, this is not a reason to say, oh, if Red Pill says somebody's name, that means they must be on the level of a master teacher and we must learn from them. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that my son, who is 17 years old, and his group, the kids that he played basketball with and that he's in school with, and they living in New York City, and they in these quote unquote environments where this shit is very dangerous and whatnot, their source of entertainment, the way that they unplug and the shit that they're into, right, is not what the fuck we were into when I was his age. First of all, because we were into some real dark shit. We were into some real criminology. We were into some, man, I was in Rikers Island at 16, bro. I couldn't even fucking graduate. You know what I'm talking about? Because I was so caught up. And I come from a very good background. So imagine the kids that didn't have nothing, what the fuck they were going through. They was getting their shit pushed back. So I'm always adding context to what I see going on. This is about the culture. It's not about me. I'm not religious. I don't stand around and profess. I don't stand around. Hey, I'm getting I'm getting Twitch shout out. Shout out to my Twitchery family. Yeah, that part. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my Twitch family. You know what I mean? I see y'all. We're gonna build this Twitch up. We're gonna get this Twitch thing popping. You feel me? Uncle's gonna be on Twitch acting a fool. But not a fool. You know, we're gonna bring activities to Twitch. We're gonna bring some balance. We're gonna bring some wisdom. We're going to bring some consciousness. We're going to bring some light. We're going to bring some spirituality. We're going to bring some goddamn, you know, because they on TikTok going crazy with the youth is I'm kind of viral on TikTok. I don't even be on TikTok. They chop up videos, and a lot of us are viral on TikTok amongst the younger crowd, the younger generation. You feel me? Who would be ideal? They would be the streamer crowd. So once again, like I did last show, I'm speaking to the parents who have teenagers, and I'm encouraging the parents that have teenagers to pay attention to the field right now, okay? Because these young children, these teenagers and young adults are touching millions and millions of dollars being themselves, playing videos, doing pranks, doing skits, doing forms of entertainment that they deem to be entertaining. How the hell you gonna judge how a teenager entertains themselves based on how you're entertained? You sound fucking crazy. You sound crazy. You in your 40s and your 50s and your 60s, of course you're not going to be entertained by a 17-year-old and a 20-year-old. Leave that for them. All I'm doing is reporting the news. I'm just giving you the information as it's coming to me. I'm letting you know that this year in 2024, the streamers took over. That's it. And as a result, because I know this culture, I understand how the culture works. As a result of them taking over in 2024, in 2025, you're going to see 1,000 clones popping out because they want that bag. They want that bag. You know, they're gonna want that money that's out there. They got Twitch is giving out. They're giving out deals for 60 million, 40 million, 20 million, 10 million for niggas to sit in front of their computer and play games and talk. Come on, fam. So I don't play video games. If I were to play video games, it would be Nintendo first generation games, Excite Bike, my nigga, Zelda, the Legend of Zelda. I would get on there and play the games from the 90s, the original shit. I would be on there playing Metroid. Okay, I'm not finna get on there and try to act like I know how to play Call of Duty and all of these advanced games. I'm playing Double Dribble. I'm playing Techno Bowl. I'm playing Ninja Gaiden. Shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm playing Contra. I'm going classic with it. Yes, I'm doing Mike Tyson Punch Out. You dig? That's what Uncle's playing. You feel me? I'm playing the original Mortal Kombat. The original Mortal Kombat. You feel me? That's what I'll be talking my shit. I'm playing Shinobi. You right? Yeah, Dom. Up, down, left, right. That time. You feel me? I'm going nostalgia with it, and I'm rocking old polo from the 90s. I'm coming on stream, what they call flamming. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming on the stream with the motherfucking with the old polo with the hill figure. I'm gonna have my JanSport on. You smell me? I'm gonna have my teddy bear knit, huh? With the rope chain and all. I'm coming in character. Uncle's gonna show up. Nah, not Pac-Man. That's too far back. Nah, that's too far back. I said Nintendo era. Huh. I said the magnificent. You giving out arcade games. This is arcade. This is Arcadia. I don't go back that far. You know? But you gotta find a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. I like YouTube, but I don't love it. I like YouTube, but I don't love it. And I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I was watching Casanet Mafia Thon because he was streaming for 30 days straight, right? And he had this mansion. They got him a mansion in LA because he's being backed by McDonald's, right? You know, don't judge the little boy. The nigga, he used to live in a shelter. Okay. He used to live in a shelter, right? So, you know, his mama's he's an immigrant. He's a child of an immigrant. So I'm not here to play Dr. Sabi on these children and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? You know, he got to deal with McDonald's. We got to take it up with McDonald's, man. Don't spank the young god. You know what I mean? We got to take it up with McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? Yes, after the Commodore 64. Now, on special dates, I'll go back. I'll do Commodore 64, you know, what was that shit? Turbo graphics and shit like that. I will go far back. But for the most part, we doing original Nintendo and early PlayStation and early Sega Genesis. You smell me? Early, and we're gonna be playing instrumentals from back in the days. I just bought a whole collection of DJ Clue mixtape. Somebody was selling a cache, like 2 terabytes of every single DJ Clue mixtape ever made. If they allow me to play music on that shit, I'm playing all of my DJ Clue mixtapes like we was in 93, 94, and I'm wearing my original shit. I'm wearing my classics, my vintage, and we're gonna play this Nintendo. I had the robot. Okay. I was doing Duck Hunt, but I had the robot too. Rob, I think his name was Gyromite. I had the robot. Yeah, we're gonna throw some Dreamcast in there as well. You know what I'm saying? So it's time to, you know what I mean? It's like I'm on my vintage shit. You know, I would feel weird being on Twitch and trying to keep up with these little kids and whatnot. Let them do what they do. Let them, oh my goodness. 007 GoldenEye. Yo, Mega Man. It would put tears in my eyes when I finish Mega Man. I think if I start playing that again, I might start crying because these games have a significance in my life. They're part of my DNA. I'm not that cool. I'm not about to get on here and get all, you know what I mean? Authenticity is your superpower. Authenticity. I'm authentically me. I'm gonna be as authentic as I can, especially after I learned that authenticity is a superpower. I was like, oh, I'm letting go. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to sit around and act fake conscious, and no, nigga, I'm handling this. I'm doing what I gotta do. Nobody, you know what I mean? I'm walking my walk. You can't clone that. You know what I'm saying? You can't clone that. I have to be comfortable being me, my nigga. You gotta be you. It's not that serious. This world is not that hard. I promise you. Take it from me. I'm almost touching 50, nigga. Curtis Jackson. Okay, I could teach you a few things. You know, sound like auntie talking to you niggas. I could teach you a few things. You feel me? I could teach you a few things. I've been around the block a few times. You know what I'm saying? They said that I would be okay with music on Twitch. Man, don't tease me with a good time. Shit, I'll turn into DJ Clue's twin on that bitch. You know what I'm talking about? I'll get the Serato and get to mixing. Man, y'all, man, shit. Shit. You know what I'm talking about? I'm man. Don't tease me with a good time. Cause I really want to have my throwback parties anyway. I'm on some classic shit I'm on some classic vintage type shit. I'm stuck in nostalgia right now because today is not doing it for me. These, you know what I mean? That's why Kendrick even had to go back in the days. You know, his whole shit is a nostalgia. That whole album is about nostalgia. And the young niggas, the little tadpoles and whatnot, they can't even get with it. They don't even know what the fuck is going on. They just like, they could feel the aura though. They can feel the aura. They know that there's something classic taking place. So we are the connoisseurs of the culture, right? Those of us who are considered Generation X. You know what I mean? Let's handle this culture. This culture is rich. The culture that I'm speaking of is your memories. Me and my whiz. Oh, let me find the channel. Ooh, me and my whiz, we pulled up New York hot tracks. Oh my goodness. Let me pull this up. New York hot tracks. I'm just trying to give y'all my DNA. You know what I'm saying? Because people, it's about authenticity. So I'm the kind of person that I love to watch interviews where people give their origin story, like what made you, where did you come from, what's your makeup, like you know what I'm saying, that type of shit, like what created you. I'm into shit like that, so I don't hold back on showing people, you know, what created the God. You know what I mean? Where I come from, type shit, because it's nothing to it's nothing to hide. We come from one of the most lit eras. Check this shit out.
Is New York Hot Tracks, the #1 video of them all.
This is where I come from.
Two from Tina.
This is before MTV. This is before BET. This is before VH1, Bomba Clot. This was authentically New York right here. And we was watching music from every artist, mad different artists, like Debbie Deb. When you hear me, look at Pat, look at Auntie. I really, really do. Look at Auntie, nigga. That's what you want. Remember Pert shampoo? It was like 90% water. Oh man. This is called New York Hot Tracks, right? This is one of the premier New York video music channels before MTV introduced themselves and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? We talking big throwback type shit. Your era was Video Music Box. This is preceding Video Music Box. This was the warm-up before Video Music Box. I don't know if I could play the music. Let me see if they might. I don't want them to shut me down. But all you got to do is look up hot tracks. You will go on a it'll take you on a quote unquote on a mission, on a history mission, like a lesson. Yeah, they was really programming us back then. You know what I'm saying? People was, it's an interesting conversation because, the culture was forming right here. This is when the culture was forming. It didn't have a blueprint. It did not have a blueprint. It wasn't like, it was trying to look like something or be like something. It was literally becoming something right then and there. It was forming right before our very own eyes. You feel me? And we were listening to all genres, all backgrounds. It was gay people making music. You feel me? It was white people making music. It was black people who were suspect, like Cameo, making music. It was all of that. But we didn't judge. Look, boy George, nigga, how's that? It was all of that. And we wasn't trying to be like it though. We was just appreciating. It wasn't like niggas was coming outside trying to be like Cameo. But we was grooving. We didn't have no prejudice. You know what I'm saying? We ain't had no prejudice. We knew what we was, we knew what we wasn't and whatnot. And we was rocking out to the music. The music moved us. I would love to play it, but I don't know how this, I gotta wait till I get on Twitch to play shit like this because they, YouTube be hating. And by listening to everything, it really fashioned our musical palette. Okay. It fashioned our musical palette. Stop letting people from my era and my age group act mad racist, like they don't like everybody. That's not how we move. That is not how we move, bro. We come from a cultural melting pot, especially a New Yorker. You know, especially if somebody's from the town. New Yorkers, we are we live in a cultural melting pot. This new shit where everybody is online divided and they acting fake conscious and shit. This some new shit. This is not how we were born. We were not grown up like that. We were not reared like that. We were not groomed like that. Yeah, Wham was my shit. George Michael, come a chameleon. You know, they had the what was that? What's the come a chameleon? What's that? Culture something? You know what I mean? Something culture with Boy George and all of these niggas. Cindy Lauper. We had it all. We was listening to everything. Early Madonna type shit. El DeBarge. You know what I'm saying? Elder Culture Club. You feel me? Culture Club. My shit. You know what I mean? Like going back to what I was saying about authenticity. If you're not true to yourself, if you're not authentically saying, yo, I love this shit, this was my shit that I grew up on, you're lying in the mirror to your fake persona that you recently created with your fake ass red, black, and the green and all of this other stuff. Keep it a buck. Keep it a buck. There's some people that's too cool to even say shit like this. They too cool to even admit you was listening to Butthole Surfers, pause, Duran Duran. You know what I mean? The Police, Sting. You know what I mean? All of these type of artists and whatnot. That shit cultured us. It created a great spectrum of music. So when we heard samples in music, I know that shit. Like there's people who hear that song with what's that called? Squabble Up. They don't even know where the sample came from. They never heard of Debbie Deb. When I hear music, it makes me dance. When I hear music, I'm like, if you was into any type of dancing, if you was shaking a leg at all, you had to know what that song was. Like, what are we doing? Bring the classics back. Bring the classics back, man. I promise you, bring the classics back because them shits are classics for a reason. You know why they're classics? Because I could play it right now and it's still bumping. It doesn't have a time expiration. It's not like spoil. It doesn't spoil like milk and whatnot. It is timeless. And the vibes of that music, oh my goodness. If I could do anything to go back in those days, I would. I really would. You know what I'm saying? I really would. I love the 70. The further back you go, the better the music gets. I'm just saying, Hall of Notes, Talking Heads, David Byrne. Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was. Come on, man. Little black kids in the hood listening to everything. Listening to everything. We was hip. And then hip hop came and it stopped us from enjoying the fucking rest of the world. Well, really rap. I'm just saying. And gangster rap. Shit like that. We got caught up. We became tough and whatnot. We became roughnecks. You know what I mean? We became hardened. And we became too cool for school. Yeah, Simply Red. Swing Out Sister. You know what I mean? Sugar Hill Gang. Yeah. Gloria Estefan. Pat Benatar. Been around the world. Yeah, I wasn't doing the rock and roll too tough, but I liked Aerosmith when they was with Run DMC, Nirvana. I was fucking with them until a homie killed himself. Yeah, War was popping, Fleetwood Mac was popping, the Jets was popping. So, of course, it's my dad who introduced us to the 70s and the 60s and the 50s. Me being born in 75, I'm like, damn, I'm growing up and I'm like, shit, I would do anything to live in the 60s because I've told y'all on the show before, I have big crushes on women from the 60s and the 70s. You know what I'm saying? I was a young whippersnapper. So I'm imagining that the children that were born in the 90s and the children that were born in the 2000s, that's how they feel when they look at the videos from the 80s and whatnot. And when they tap into the music and whatnot from the 80s and they like shit in the early 90s, like the whole wave in the culture right now is the 90s revival. Henceforth, why Generation X or G and X album by Kendrick is smashing records, going crazy, because in the visuals he gave you, remember, he speaks in what is known as design language, right? He's one of those artists like Travis Scott and a few other people, Kanye West, of course, being one of the fathers of it. Design language is I show you what I'm on without saying it. Like I be on these shows talking too much. You know what I'm saying? If I really wanted to be an artist, I would stop talking. The fact that I got so much fucking talking going on, I diminished my aura of this artistry shit where these niggas don't even talk. They just put their art out. They put their clothes, they talk to their they talk through their fashion, and they speak through their music, and they speak through their videos and stuff like that. So he was able to establish to everybody that was paying attention what the motif and what the design language of this new project is. It is a homage and an ode to the 80s and the 90s. Yes, Tyler the Creator, he does it very well. He has mastered the design language. Slick Rick, design language. He show up with the jury on, with the fucking Argyle sweater and whatnot, with the eye patch. She had to say nothing. She was like, yo, this shit is drug dealer chic. Eric B. and Rakim showed up with the Dapper Dan on, with the gold chains, with the motherfucking flat tops and everything. They didn't have to say a word. You knew what it was. You was like, these niggas is connected. They on to something. They are on to something. So if you listening to this and you a young whippersnapper, just consider this to be major game that we giving. As you can see, it's not just me, the whole chat going crazy. We giving you niggas game. Go and research, go program this shit into your motherfucking Spotify, however you consume music, and go take a trip down memory lane. Get your mind right. Okay? Do not allow late term niggatry. Okay? Don't allow late term the culture, because the culture has been compromised. So don't allow a compromised culture to stop you from tapping in to the culture, because the culture is not just NWA, is not just Eazy-E, is not just rapping shit. We, the ones who made the best music ever, we have a foundation. Do not allow nobody to lie to you. We were all listening to the same music. There wasn't 20 record. There wasn't fucking 20 stations. Nigga, there was one. Okay? We all listened to the same shit. Okay? They had Hot 90. They didn't even have Hot 97. They had WBLS in New York City, and they had 98.7 Kiss FM. That's where we got our music from. And there was some AM shit going on. Okay. I don't know about y'all radio stations where y'all at, but that's how we got it. And then we watched the same video channels showing the same shit. We didn't have options. We didn't have options. And everybody's mama was on the same frequency. You know what I'm talking about? They was playing the same shit. So Kiss and BLS was our foundation. I highly suggest don't wait for no wave. Don't wait for nobody else. We telling it to you right now. Please go and plug in and thank me later. These are probably names that you never heard of before. But if you want to understand us, if you want to get it, because that's the secret sauce, my ninjas. That's the secret sauce. We don't be letting shit like this out. And you know, on the first date, you know what I'm talking. We don't let this type of thing out on the first date. This is the secret sauce. This is some of the shit niggas is holding close to their chest and whatnot. But I'm here to let you know, we was listening to Hall and Oates, okay, In Excess, Wham. You know what I mean? And I ain't talking about Little Baby, my nigga. We was listening to Hall and Oates. We was listening to early Madonna. We was listening to a nigga named Cameo with a jockstrap, a red jockstrap. Yes, him. That's what we was listening to. Okay. And and the TV used to sign off at one. The shit used to turn into white noise after midnight. Okay. We was listening to Barry White. Yeah, the British invasion was crazy. Cyndi Lauper, Girls Just Want to Have Fun, Tears for Fears. It was mad European zesty groups. It was a European invasion. And we didn't have no problem with that. We wasn't acting all stush. We wasn't acting all, because they wasn't pushing Batiman. They wasn't pushing no funny guy shit. That is not what they were pushing. You know what I'm talking about? They was singing to the woman. We was listening to Luther Vandross, Freddie Jackson, Duran Duran. You feel me? And it's not a New York thing. No, it's not a New York thing. No, this is the whole nation, my nigga. They was in LA jamming like this too. This was the whole, that's what I'm trying to explain. It got regional with hip hop. It got regional with hip hop. It was not regional like that when it was this music that we was consuming. It was not regional. Everybody was tapped in. When Michael Jackson dropped his videos, everything stopped. Morris Day and the Time, Genesis, UB40, Joan Jett, nigga. Huh? Earl Prince with the cheeks out. Pause. What are you talking about? Huh? Amadeus. Remember the rock? I seen the movie Amadeus. Rock Me Amadeus. That was my shit. Boy George was him back then. Yes, he was him. Oh my goodness. Lisa in the Cult Jam. You talk about a crush. Nigga. I was going crazy over Lisa. I was going crazy over Lisa. Huh? Phil Collins. Terrence Trent D'Arby. I can't go for that. No can do. I can't go for that. Go for that. Arithmetics. Shorty with the fade. Huh? So this is, I'm trying to help y'all out because they keep popping the balloons on y'all young niggas real fast. Like they took, I was reading the thread on IG. They was killing y'all on the date scene and everything. The women is, they need they don't have no dimensions to them. Y'all out here chasing down cougars and whatnot. I'm trying to help you out so you could make it to the second base or something, a second date. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? You could pull up in the Cybertruck playing Pat Benatar, nigga. You gonna get points for that. You're gonna get points to that. You know? You're gonna get points for that. Let's not talk about Rick James, bitch. Rick James. Who's comparable to Rick James right now? Who's comparable to Rick James? We talking about the bad boy Rick James. Who in today's musical industry can we compare to a Rick James? Chris Brown came to mind immediately, but he's not even as bad as Rick James. Rick James was getting into a lot of trouble. He was more bad boy than who could be comparable? I don't even think they made a clone of him yet. Nigga said Kodak. I mean, I don't want no more for the bus. For the bus. And maybe it's Kodak. I don't know. But this nigga was hood for real. He's different. Rick James was different, y'all. I promise you. Everybody's niggas saying Kodak Black. I promise you, Rick James was different. Donna Summers, Earth, Wind, and Fire. Do you know that one of my favorite songs on my top 10 songs of all time is him singing to that white girl, bro. I mean, don't judge me. You know what I'm talking about? I'm trying to explain to y'all how deep this shit goes. Where it's like you get judged by stupid metrics these days. But that wasn't the metrics when we was coming up. You know what I'm talking about? The shit that grabs your soul. You know what I mean? Like Rick James and Tina Marie, Fire and Desire is my top, is in my top 10 songs of all time. Of all time. You catch me on the right night, I'm crying when that shit come on. I'm shedding tears. I'm shedding tears, bro. You know what I'm saying? Music was authentic and was happy. Like yes, that's what I'm saying. Like the 80s, remember, it was authentic because you couldn't necessarily look in the 70s and be like, oh, they trying to be like them, right? This was the cusp of the culture. This was the beginning of the culture. You understand? So it was authentic in a sense that we never seen this before. The way that they were dressing, their hairstyles, the sounds and whatnot, the music, the instruments that they were using. Keep in mind, we're coming out of disco. The 70s was dominated by the disco sound and whatnot. So this new sound from the 80s is very new, is very fresh, but they were not, and this is another thing, they were not producing duds like that. They were not, I mean, it's a lot of fucking hits, bro. I don't know what they was doing at the record labels. I don't know what they were doing at the record labels, but they were making some fucking artists, bro. They were turning out some goddamn songs. You feel me? They were creating superstar. Well, you didn't have to really be a superstar. We're not really talking about, because Michael Jackson and Prince and Madonna, those are the superstars of that era. Yeah. Sade. And do you notice Sade is the name of the band and not just the sister? You know what I'm talking about? She got them 3 white dudes rocking with her, and every single song that you hear, that's them. The name of the band is Sade, and it's taken from her middle name. She got a long ass name. Prince in the Revolution, Purple Rain movie, bodied me. My body. I was like, oh my goodness. What do we have here with it? Apollonia? Vanity? Oh, I talked about this before. You know what I mean? I talked about this before. You feel me? You know what I mean? If I could go back in time, if I could get into the DeLorean, I might go pick up 5,000 Bitcoins and then I'm going back to get Apollonia. You know what I'm talking about? I'm going to have an Averex on. Nah, fuck that. I'm going to pull up on a Harley, my nigga. Huh? I might get some extension braids or something. I'm pulling up on a Harley. I'm going to claim that. Shalimar for the lover in you. Jimmy and Terry Jam, huh? With Janet? It's just too much. We could go on for all day. So I guess it's already in the bag. That's the music that my Twitch will be playing while Unc is playing his Nintendo games and talking about nostalgia. Because on my Twitch, I don't even want to talk about modern day shit. Man, keep that on YouTube. I want to get on the fucking DeLorean. My channel gonna have a DeLorean in the background. I'm just gonna be reminiscing. So the young niggas can't even stunt. Be like, well, what I'm doing on Twitch, nigga? I'm teaching you now. I'm giving you niggas culture. I'm trying to help you niggas out because y'all don't have culture. Because y'all grew up listening to DMX in the stomach. How about that? Y'all was listening to DMX in the womb, huh? And Mary J, Scary J Blige. And it's no disrespect to Mary J. It's no disrespect to Mary J, but she's not fucking with the she's her. I love me some Mary, but when she started, you know what I mean? That that hip hop R&B shit, that wasn't what we grew up on. I'm gonna just leave it at that. And a lot of people's mamas and they aunties in them, they was not fucking with no Mary J. Blige in the beginning. Yeah, that 411. I think I got my first piece of love listening to that. That was the pop off album. That was the jump off album. I'm gonna keep it real. But it was a beginning. It's a beginning of a new era. And the aunties, at first, they start fucking with her later on. But at first, they was like, what is this shit? She wasn't no Anita Baker. She wasn't no Whitney Houston. And I don't mean to put sisters against each other because that's not healthy and whatnot. I don't want to put the sisters, I don't want to pit them against each other. I'm just giving y'all context to the historical conversation that was taking place. All my people on IG, come over to YouTube, Know the Ledger 444. They're going to cut the live right now. Okay, so come over to the YouTube channel. Let me drop the link so y'all can make the jump. You know what I mean? Come over so you don't get cut out. They said a Rothschild died in LA. Yeah, I heard about that. LA is lit right now, I guess. YouTube, Know the Ledger 444, so y'all don't get left out of the conversation. I know it's hard to leave Instagram. There's so much going on over there. But yeah, that's where we at. We're over here on YouTube, guys. But yeah, man, I think we figured it out. I got the Twitch channel. We playing the old school shit. We talking. We're gonna have conversations, and then we'll break out into some video games because I'm definitely not gonna be up there playing video games all fucking day. That's not my life. You know what I'm saying? That is not my life. But I'll entertain it every now and then. Atlantic Star. She wasn't no Diana Ross. She wasn't no Diana Ross. Don't disturb this groove. That's why I hate crack, man. I hate crack, bro. I hate that shit with a passion. I promise you, man. I hate what crack did to us, man. I say it. I'm gonna keep saying it. I mean, and I don't say the word hate a lot. I don't say the word hate a lot, but god damn it, the fucking crack, bro. It cracked us up. It cracked. It caused a crack in the culture, and we've never recovered from that shit, bro. We've never recovered from. They turned our women into zombies, man. They turned these people into fucking zombies, bro. They didn't even know what they was getting into. They was trying to get high. They was just trying to get right. They was just trying to freebase. And that shit turned our people into zombies, bro. I hate that shit for us. You know what I mean? And me personally, I promise you, I don't have personal stories with the crack like that. It kind of spared a lot of people around me, man. It hit some of people that close to me. It did. But for the most part, it didn't ravage my family like that. But I witnessed, I mean, it don't take a rocket scientist to sit back, because I said it was hip hop gangster. No, it was crack. And the soundtrack that came after crack was the gangster rap. That came a little bit later. It ain't like it came at the same time. It came a little bit later. Okay, look at what it did to Richard Pryor. You said Shaka Khan smoked crack. I would say that a lot of the 80s and the early 90s stars and in the 70s, they was on that krill. They was on that white rock. That was a party drug. Remember, crackheads, what they call crackheads, that didn't come at first. That's the residue of abusing that shit. We didn't see crackheads at first. Okay, we did not see crackheads at first. We saw it years later. Wait, Levert smoked crack? Didn't he have a heart attack? Didn't he have a heart? Oh my goodness. Karen White was another big crush of mine. Oh my goodness. I had it real heavy for Karen White. She was just gorgeous in my eyes. She was gorgeous in my eyes. You know what I mean? How many of y'all had Patti LaBelle's Pies and whatnot? Pies is bumping. Yeah, 80s was the coke. You know what I mean? But crack came like 85. And from there on, it just did its thing. And it's still doing its thing. And it's still doing its thing. You know, niggas out. This nigga smoking crack right now. Vesta. I seen Vesta's Unplug or Unsung. This the shit with the child, right? Vesta got the song with the child. I'm trying to get right into the harmony of it. Man, I love me some Vesta, boy. Woo! Her voice was so soothing. So soothing. Yeah, Karen White was fine, bro. Man, oh man. Remember Vanessa Williams? They try to take a sister down. Congratulations. That was my shit, bro. And they had the video to go with it. Yeah, I love me some Vesta. You feel me? Phyllis Hyman. She was another beautiful, gorgeous. Yo, our sisters back then was gorgeous. So people would be like, oh, Ray, you so judgmental. Thanks for my child. Who did thanks for my child? Because congratulations is my shit, but thanks for my child is too. Thanks for my child. You burned away in the thanks for my child. And if they didn't come out with that sampling law, that law where they Cheryl Pepsi Riley, I loved her too. I loved Jody Watley too. Jody Watley was like, she was her out of them. She was Harrington out of that whole group. I remember Jody Watley was on top. Stephanie Mills was that. She was her too. Thanks for my child. You turned away. DJ Uni in the building. I need a DJ. I'm going to need a DJ to hold it down on Twitch with me when I go through what I'm going through, when I turn up. I'm going to need y'all to pull up on Twitch because Twitch is going to be the music. Twitch is going to be the reminiscent. This shit that I'm talking, it sound good and whatnot, but I'm going to back it up with the sounds. I mean, the conversation is great, but wait till you hear the music. I think I had a crush on a whole In Vogue, especially the one that was in the in the movie Juice. It was Q's girlfriend. I was on her tail. I was like, that's my girl. You know, I was like, that's my wife. Karen White was married to Terry Lewis. I didn't even know that. Angela Winbush, fire. Young Pics of Shaka Khan, fire. She was on her Indian shit. Like, Shaka Khan was her. She was pressure. And she's short, pressure. You know what I mean? She was a Moor, something. Black, one of them things, Black Panther. So one of them things, she was down with it. But the women though, man. The women though, bro. But what those women, all of those women singers, they all were beautiful in their own right. So when I look at the women today, it's not like I'm judging. I just have a point of reference. I just had a point of reference. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't, yeah, she, you know, she's Blackfoot. She's Blackfoot. We're talking about our sister. Okay. She's Blackfoot. Shaka Khan, that is. And she was a Black Panther. You feel me? SOS Band, Matume with Juicy, Betty Wright was fire. Yes, all of these women, man. So when you think about what state the music is in, when you think about what Puff Daddy did to the music industry, because keep in mind, he was the quote unquote gatekeeper over R&B and hip hop. He was the gatekeeper over R&B through Uptown Records, because when he ushered in that new sound that Mary J. Blige had, where it was the fusion of hip hop and R&B, he basically burnt the bridge and cut the goddamn, he cut the stream. He cut the water stream. He cut the, turn his TV off. He turned the TV off for a plethora of beautiful women who were singing their asses off, no pun intended, in the music industry. Okay. And it was that goddamn Keebler elf, what's his name? Clive Davis, who was putting the quote unquote, he was putting his attack dog, P. Diddy, Sean Combs, right? He was pitting him against all of these beautiful women and whatnot, and they began to disappear one by one. This is what Clive Davis did. And they said that Clive Davis is responsible for the death of Phyllis Hyman, who suspiciously died when she was trying to get out of her contract. That's why, karma is doing what it's doing to him. You feel me? And we talked about that on the last show when I was watching the Shine documentary, and I seen that the dude Star from Star Network, he did a review on the Shine documentary that's on Hulu and whatnot. And I got to check it out. I didn't watch it. I just seen the thumbnail. But I promise you, I seen the documentary and I know why Puff Daddy is in jail, or Sean Combs. I know why he ain't getting bail and whatnot, because Shine must have some type of spiritual connection. You feel me? He might be protected. You know what I'm talking about? He might be anointed. Who knows? But the karma is kicking his ass, because his hands is wild dirty. P. Diddy set that boy up to go to jail 10 years and then shitted on him and would have left him in there to rot. You feel me? Yeah, they've been taking down musicians for years. I broke down and I forgot the name of the lecture, but it's a lecture. It's one of the lectures on KTL University. I broke down in one of those lectures. I'm going to remember which one it is specifically, but I showed the mob ties to the record industry, how the music industry as we know it is being run by real gangsters and banksters, people that catch bodies and whatnot, real gangsters. We know about the Italian mob, but we know nothing about the Jewish mafia. We know nothing about it because they don't tell on themselves. They hit you with they gave you the Italians as the scapegoats, and they don't quote unquote tell you about themselves, and they be knocking people off. So when you come into the music industry, your lawyer, your agent, the music executive, they're all part and parcel to organized crime. They organize criminals with suits on. That's it. And they got degrees and whatnot. That's the difference. You looking for a nigga with a slick back, you know what I'm saying? Showing some taco meat and whatnot, looking like Tony Montana. And that's not who they are. They're your lawyers. They're even your doctors. They're your chiropractics. They're your GYNs. They're the judges. Okay. That's who they elevated themselves to. Yes, the Kazar. That's who they are. So they've been knocking people off for their publishing because anybody, they know where the real money is at. The real money is the quote unquote long-term check. That's the publishing, and that's the quote unquote, that's the rights. That's your masters and shit like that. That's what they kill for. That's what they kill for. That's what they've been killing people forever. They've been killing people forever for that. And they continue to do it until somebody exposes them. You know? Yeah, he gave him 50,000 when he came out doing 10 years. 50,000, fam. Like Sean went through a lot. You know? Sean went through a lot. Yes, that tattoo that got him in the chokehold. Yep. And in the documentary, they talked about the ritual that he did where he went into the park and he grabbed a pigeon and the bird died and whatnot. He was going to get sentenced, or he was going to hear his verdict. And he stopped in Central Park and did a ritual. And it involved the bird that he basically put, he'd be doing, it's New York, man. If you think people is moving through New York and in that industry without doing work, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, the whole sex rituals is a part of the whole the parties, that's part of the ritual. That's part of the ceremony. That's part of the ceremony. That's how you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, they killing them for the insurance too. You know, you know. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? We learning as we move along. We learning as we move along. You know what I mean? It's a learning process. But the more people that get informed is the less people that will get bitten by this vampire. Hopefully. You feel me? Hopefully we will become more wiser moving forward and not sell ourselves out for what they call a few shekels, a few shekels, because they got our people selling out for a few shekels in these streets, and it's sad. It's so sad to see how people are going out. The UAPs are all over DC and the UK was fucking with that. Yeah. He do look like Obama, and he sound like the mannerism, right? He cloned that nigga. Sean is a fucking chameleon. You know what I'm talking about? Sean is a chameleon. This nigga went through his Hasidic phase and whatnot, and now he's on Obama's. That nigga done drank the Obama tap water because he studied that man and literally turned into him. It's scary when you look at it. He's a fucking chameleon, bro. Everything is Obama on this nigga. Like, he might as well go get a bag and just do the Obama, you know what I'm saying? The Spike Lee Obama movie. Nigga, go get your coins. You know what I'm talking about? Go get your coins, cause you him. You just make the movie called Barry, nigga. You're him. Barry goes to DC or something. I don't know. Barry and Mike. I don't know. Whatever it is, you're him, bro. Play the fucking movie before it's too late. You know what I mean? Play the role. Go get you a check. Spread that shit around Belize. I gotta go to Belize and see this shit with my real eyes. Who saw Jackie Rowe? If you saw the documentary and you saw the sister who was there for him in court, she was there for she was the one that he went to where he had to rhyme for her, and she was like, all right, now you hot. And then that's what made him get on. That's Jackie Rowe. That's who I keep telling y'all who me and Blue was working for when we worked for Mike Tyson. That's Mike Tyson's sister. Okay, she's a fucking legend. I'm gonna have her on the show. I'm gonna have her. She's mad hood and whatnot, but she is the god. She's the Griselda of Flatbush, and not selling coke and no stupid shit. She's not the Griselda like that. She's the Griselda because she's the godmother. She's a lot of legends came through her. A lot of legends came through her. You feel me? Jackie Rowe, she needs her own documentary. Yeah, you seen her. She was at court with him. She was up north with him. You know what I mean? She was with Sean faithfully. You know what I'm saying? That's how you know she a real one. She's a real one. She deserves every single flower that she gets, because I seen Jackie hold this shit down from all. She saved me and my brother's life. Took us the fuck up out the streets. What year was that? 97, I think. I was on a run, headless. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I was just wilding, my G. I promise you, I was unhinged. And she helped, it was a very, what I mean? We put her through a lot. She put us through a lot. But she straightened us out, you know what I mean? She helped straighten us out. She helped to straighten that crookedness out of us, and she showed us the legal industry, way of getting to a bag. You feel me? The gangster way, how to get to a bag. We was around Jimmy Henchman. We was around the nigga that shot 50, homicide. We was around because Mike Tyson is a dinosaur who surrounds himself with the gangsters of Brooklyn, the dinosaurs of Brooklyn, the real ones. And they love them some Jackie, boy. You know what I'm talking about? They love them some Jackie. And that's who we would be, we was introduced to that. We was introduced to all of that. And, people say crazy things about street people, but something about the old school, that they had they got a certain etiquette about them. They have a certain way that they carry themselves that pales in comparison to some of these schmucks of today. It's a completely different world. The stock and the pedigree of the people that are outside these days, it's nothing like some of the people that I was exposed to that was cut from that cloth, that street cloth back in those days and whatnot, But yeah. People are real. People are very real when they stand by you through bad and good. Who's standing with Diddy? His mama. You know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't seem like he stood with other people when they were going through what they were going through. So when when people feel like they don't owe you anything, they're not going to stand by you. Because all of the people that would have been standing with him, he shitted on them. You know what I mean? Yeah, his children is going to be by his progeny. You know what I'm saying? His progeny is going to be by their dad's side. They can't disrespect. They can't turn their back on him. You feel me? It hasn't gotten that bad yet. Now, if they come out and say, "Yo, we charging you in the murder of Kim Porter," if they say some crazy shit like that, if they try to throw something on him like that, yeah, then you could talk about the children will have to choose. Yo, is this, you know what I mean? What we doing? But other than that, yeah, they gonna stand by their dad. Who outside his immediate lineage? Nobody that I see. Do you think Trump would free the diddler? He got to do at least 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, Donald Trump is not gonna get fucking Sean Combs out of jail right away. Even if he would have to do at least 10 or 8. He'll get him on a second term leaving type shit. He's not gonna grab him right away. He gotta lay up. Hey, look, Suge Knight is locked up. He's, you know what I mean? Come on now. Come on, this is a video game. You know what I mean? You gotta lay up. You know what I'm saying? The karma is real. But until they hit him with a new charge, it's not a very heavy case. You know what I'm saying? It's not, they don't have him red-handed type. Like, it's not really a closed shut case. Not yet. You know, it looks good. He's guilty in a public court of opinion. Of course, he's guilty there, but they don't have him with the hand in the cookie jar the way that people may think. You know, you said Trump don't owe Diddy shit. He doesn't. He doesn't. It would basically be him just, you know what I mean? It would just be one of those things where a fellow New Yorker looks out for another New Yorker who they came up with. And he has, of course, he has admiration for him being a mogul. You feel me? I'm sure that they have admiration. I never seen them publicly clash. One thing I know about Donald Trump from seeing him moving around New York City and whatnot, and the way that he maneuvers and the shoulders that he rubbed with before he became a politician, he fucks with the rappers the long way. Okay, he fucks with the rappers the long way, especially the ones that was getting money. You know what I mean? They done was in a boom boom room together. They've been hitting lines together. They've seen each other with their fangs out. You know what I mean? Nobody is confused as to who the next one is. You feel me? Remember, Donald Trump is a fucking villain. Let's be very clear, and I make it clear when I speak about it, so we could understand what we're dealing with. This is some Batman shit. You're going into the next 4 years, and the Joker's the president. This is what we going into. He's a villain. You know, that's who Donald Trump is. And his whole administration, you got to cast the villains around him. He got to cast the villains around him. And they're going to do some villainous shit. So I don't know what people are sitting around waiting for and what they think they're going to see, but you're about to see you're about to see a movie. You're about to see a movie in this next 4 years. So get your strap up. You know what I mean? Shoot. Kingpin is running shit in Marvel now. Oh, I gotta check that. It makes sense. It makes sense. Villain to some, but seems like the old guard is really mad at him. Once again, they're all villains. This is a den of vipers. You know, in the anybody read the comics, one villain will knock off another villain. One villain, and he can't run the prisons. He don't get confused and think he got a lot of bread like that. I mean, he got bread, but he don't got bread like that. He could run. His fame will keep him afloat behind the wall. It's his fame is his aura. You know what I mean? He got New York gangsters inside of the jails, like every gangster from New York, going all the way to places down south. They got ties with him just from going to his parties and being on the P. Diddy fucking payroll and being tapped in with him. He rubbed shoulders with the streets, with the underworld. He been doing that before he got to Uptown Records. So, you know, the feds, it ain't like it's a bunch of strangers in the federal penitentiary. All of the real niggas is in jail. Right? All of the real niggas is in jail. That's what everybody in the streets is saying. So if all of the real niggas is in jail, if all the real ones is locked up, he is going to be at a Diddy party. Because if they were out, they will be putting on all white and they will be going to his parties when he has them in Miami or Atlanta or LA after the Grammys. That's what happens. You know? So whatever he did in the streets is not heinous enough for people behind the jail, especially in the federal penitentiary, to be like, nah, I'm not fucking with this nigga. That shit with Cass. Them niggas all did that shit in their lives. I've said it before. If people venerate drug dealers, gangsters, big willies, hitmen, big money getters, there's two things that I could definitely say. They got a heavy hand when it come to women, and they be on some freaky shit. So it's not like he's amongst people that are morally fucking correct. He's in jail, nigga. What are you talking about? He's in jail. He's amongst his own. It's a Diddy party. Let's be clear. Niggas is acting like he went to fucking like he went to the monastery or something. You know? There's people running the yards that killed mad people, and they get big respect behind the walls. Like, snap out of it. That this is the internet and the public that have these fake outrages and whatnot. You know what I mean? But where he's at, they already said that he's running the jail in Brooklyn. They already said that he's running the jail. So guess what? That's where that comes from. These niggas want to get put on. You know what I'm talking about? Okay, Black Shiva, at this point, you're trolling. He want to get put on. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I see. You know what I mean? I mean, that's when I look into the whole thing, that's what I see. I'm like, if y'all think that these niggas behind the wall is gonna punish him or do something, you're very mistaken. That's not how it works. If that was the case, they would be sending rapists home in a box. They would be sending robbers, and they would be sending them niggas home in boxes, and that's not what they're doing. You know what I'm talking about? They come home and they clicked up. You know? So his brand and his aura and his name and what he could do for people, he gonna be up in that bitch making mad deals with people like, yo, when you come out, I'm gonna sign you. When you go, that's why R. Kelly is behind the walls and he's chilling. You know, he's chilling. You don't hear no stories about R. Kelly getting beat up. Niggas chilling. Them niggas behind the wall don't give a fuck about none of that. You know? And let's not even get into the, I don't even want to go there. I don't even want to go there. You know? But it's the court of public opinion. That's where the most heaviness is. That's where the judgment, that's where people get deflated from the court of public opinion. What people outside think about them, what the streets think about them, the love, the negative comments and all of that. That's the shit that kills people who are in those situations. It's not facing other prisoners and other killers and other quote unquote criminals. If anything would have happened to him, it would be about extortion. It would be related to him not paying up or shit like that. You said if we have to cancel everybody, we may not have any music, videos, or entertainment, especially the way they vilify the black man. I would say that the destruction of the music industry that's taking place in so many subtle ways right now, we're looking for the music industry to fall in a way that I think is unreasonable, right? It's already fallen. It's already, quote unquote, imploding, right? It's already losing its aura, right? And the appeal that it had on like our generation, because our generation had it bad. My generation, Generation X, we were fucking at the level of worship. You know what I'm talking about? Of the golden calf. We be talking about these younger generations, but what about us? What about our generation? We were on our knees. We were the parents that were handing the daughters over to R. Kelly. You feel me? We were the parents that were handing over to P. Diddy to get signed, even after we knew that he was sending mad people to the crazy house and nobody on that label was really winning. It was parents that was willingly taking their children to get a fucking deal from Bad Boys. You feel me? Our generation. Our generation. So we are the ones that got to snap out of that celebrity worship type shit. We looking at these niggas like gods. It's us. We taught our children to worship celebrities. Okay? Our parents didn't even have it this bad. You know what I'm talking about? Our parents didn't even have it this bad. I never seen my parents running behind Harry Belafonte and fucking what the fuck? They wasn't worshiping motherfucking Nina Simone and nigga what? Eartha Kitt, nigga. They wasn't falling out over her. It's us. It's our generation. We was dick riding. Okay? We were the ones who were letting these entertainers get away with everything under the sun and saying any fucking thing on the radio and all of that stupid shit. It was our generation. Okay? So we are the ones who have we got the wake up call. We the ones that got to get woken up out of our goddamn sleep, out of our slumber. How many people in my generation have jumped in the grave following these niggas? Gangster rap, NWA, Bloods and Crips, gang banging and all of this dumbass shit. Huh? Do you know how many of the people of do you know how many of my generation done already got on the cross? Do you know? Do you know? Huh? They wiped out a whole generation. You talk about the rappers that died. What about the niggas in the streets that died? The spell is thick. It took many of us off this fucking planet. Niggas is coming back as angry babies and whatnot. You know what I mean? The spell is thick. And it was our generation. We on crack. The crack that we was on was the music and the culture. I'm talking about we crackheads when it come to this shit right here. Niggas is addicted like crack. Oh, let's not even talk about the abortions. Okay? We the crackheads. So we the ones that need to detox. We the ones that need to go into some Betty Ford type of clinic type shit. We got to get off of the high horse. We on the quote unquote we on a pipe when it comes to hip hop culture that basically hooked us in like the early 90s. Turned us out in all kind of ways. Got niggas doing all kind of crazy shit, strange things for a piece of change and all of that. Yes. Generation X was the experiment generation. Thank you, Logic TV. We were the fucking experiment. We are test tube babies. Okay. Okay. We were the test tube babies that they were doing all kind of tricks on. They was feeding us yellow 40. I asked my dad, I was like, yo, dad, how was the motherfucking Fruit Loops back in your days? And he looked at me like I had 3 heads. And he was like, what? I was like, how was the Fruit Loops back in your days? They didn't have Fruit Loops. They didn't have all of this this processed food. They didn't have food in a can, my nigga. They didn't have food in a box. They didn't even have supermarkets like that. That's a new concept. They didn't have malt liquor when my dad was coming up. They didn't have GMO weed when he was coming up. They wasn't drinking Hennessy when he was coming up. Them niggas was drinking, they were drinking like bourbon. Yes, people's grandparents was living off the farms. The supermarket is a new concept. I don't know if y'all know this or not. Okay. And they were living healthier. They had more children. We didn't have, they didn't have no microwave. They didn't have no processed foods. They didn't have no Lunchables. The shit all came in our generation. We are the experiment. Remember that shit, Clone Tyrone and all of that? And niggas was like, oh, with Jamie Foxx, and they was like, oh, son is in the lab. Nigga, we're all in the lab. Let's just be clear. That whole movie was about our generation. Okay? That whole movie was about our generation on multiple coasts, different regions. That's why they went to LA and they had the same nigga, the 100 Monkey Theory. They had the same nigga over in LA, the same niggas in Chicago, the same niggas in New York, and they in Philly and whatnot. That's what they was doing. Crack, AIDS, fake food. And then it just started breaking down from different generations. But they started with my dad's generation with heroin, right? What they call King Heroin, what Gil Scott Heron got hooked on. Okay. Then they got into the coke, but they wasn't doing all of this was the preliminary beginnings of the curse. We got that shit the worst. There wasn't no Chinese food when my dad was coming up. He never had no fucking Chinese. He didn't even know what Chinese. They niggas was in Vietnam. Well, he didn't go to Vietnam, but his generation was in Vietnam. You think they was eating Chinese food? Because do you know that the beginning of Chinese food stores in America were Vietnamese? It wasn't even Chinese. And if you ask somebody from China, do they eat chicken wings? Them niggas will be like, no. And we don't eat yellow rice. That shit was an experiment. You know what I'm talking about? They don't eat yellow rice. They don't eat fried rice. And they don't eat fucking four wings in China, bro. That's not a China. They call it Chinese food. That's not the fucking China. That's not their fucking. You go to China thinking that you're going to have some bomb ass Chinese food, nigga. Them niggas is eating bok choy. You know? Yeah, the chicken was a dog. Panda Express. The greasy fucking chicken. Chicken chewier than bubble gum. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, they eating some dim sum. You know? And them fucking rib tips. There was like extra red. Them niggas had like red food coloring on dog knuckles. I used to tear that shit up. You know what I'm talking about? That's why I had to become Muslim, because the nigga was eating too much pork when I was young. You know? The fuck? Talking about Chinese food. Them niggas was Vietnamese type shit. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, General Tso's motherfucking rat tails, nigga. Remember them rib tips? Oh, you get your rib tip. Or rib tip fried rice. Or rib tip. Oh, you get rib tip French fry. You pay now. Nigga go and bust that shit down. You know what I mean? The fucking sweet and sour chicken. That nigga, that wasn't no chicken. I don't even know what that was. You know what I'm talking about? They was super red. They was like burgundy. Can't find that shit nowhere else, ever. Anywhere else, they don't have. You go to China asking for rib tips, nigga. They're gonna be like, oh, we don't know. We don't speak English. We don't speak English. You know what I mean? All the dogs in the hood missing. Type shit. We was busting down pigeons, cats, all kind of shit. And you wonder why we went crazy in the hood back in the days? You wonder why niggas went straight Chucky and fucking Jason Voorhees? Who's getting poisoned? They was all in tandem. They was all working together. They was all working together. You said Trump was wrong. He should have just aimed his, you know what I mean? He was kind of wrong by saying only Haitians was eating dogs. Nigga, we all was eating dogs. Remember the pork rinds? Why was we eating pork rinds with sodas? Yes, that shit had a grip on us too in the hood. Nigga, why was I chewing on pork rinds? Why was I eating fucking beef jerkies and splitting it down the middle and cooking that shit? Like, what were we thinking? And then we want to judge these young niggas for wearing shiesty masks and being crazy and whatnot. But we was out of our fucking minds. Literally. We was out of our minds. You know what I'm saying? I can respect the quarter water, but we start drinking 50-cent sodas. You know what I'm saying? Like what? Boar's Head and all of this crazy shit. The pork rinds, though, that did it for me. That's the pork rinds, my nigga. The pork rinds. You couldn't even chew them shits. The fucking, you have to wash it down with like battery acid or fucking baking soda. Them shits was so hard. The pork rinds, my nigga. The crab sticks that are not even fucking crab, my nigga. The shrimp. What the unclean shrimps, nigga, we was eating those. So you want to talk about detox? You want to talk about what what the fuck? So no wonder we was giving birth to Krishan Rock in them. Okay, no wonder the fucking Blueface in these niggas is crawling around the hood. Look what the fuck we was eating. We was having Coca-Cola and Pepsi wars. Yo, my Pepsi colder than your Coke. Let me see who gonna drink it first. We was drinking Yoo-Hoos, nigga. I don't even know if that was real chocolate. Nigga, Yoo-Hoos. Yeah, we were consuming mad shit. It was not good with us. So I'm not here to judge. I'm just here to smudge. I can never talk crazy about nobody. I promise you. I could never talk crazy about no generation. That's why I was like, yo, I started this out like, you know what? I'm not gonna be part of the contingency that's throwing rocks at these young streamers. You feel me? Even though this nigga has a Whopper in his name, the Kai Cenat chicken Whopper. You know, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna. I would sound like a fucking a Poindexter. I would be lame to myself. I'm not being authentically myself because I have to admit what I was eating before I start acting all fucking stush about what somebody else is eating. Honey buns. Honey buns. I used to eat that shit. Pop-Tarts, nigga. Don't let me get into the Pop-Tarts. You feel me? I would put a lighter to the Pop-Tart. You know what I mean? We didn't have the toaster on deck. We put the lighter to the Pop-Tart. You know? We did the lighter to the fucking beef jerky. You split the beef jerky down the middle, threw the lighter on it. Nigga, that was rib tips for us. And let's not talk about the candies, the yellow 40s, the red 40s and all of that. The Skittles, the whole pack in your mouth, the fucking the nerds with the two colors, the shit that make your nose sweat. How about that? That's when you know that you loaded up. The nigga nose starts sweating. Yeah, the Now-Laters. You know what I mean? The lemon heads, the super sour lemon heads, a nigga nose starts sweating. Smurf cereal. You know? Yeah, we was eating lighter fluid. You damn right we was. We was crazy. And then after we did all of that, we would do the most craziest shit known to man. Okay. We would commit A1 felonies after consuming all of this goddamn chemicals. That's a fact. Now I understand why we was on the train acting out the way that we was. Now I understand why 100 of us was walking through the hood just breaking shit and robbing things and destroying everything in our path. We were fucking toxic Avengers. You know what I'm saying? We were literally toxic Avengers. It comes to no surprise why we was on some Wolfpack shit back in those days. You know? Remember the gums that cost 5 cents? I think it was called Big Bowl. The little pink ones with the hard candy, and then you put the candy in, you break that shit, and then you chew the gum. But 10 minutes later, the gum turns into cement. Like literally, you could fucking lay a house out with that gum. That's how hard that shit got after 10 chews. Now remember Bazooka Joe? You want to talk about working on your jawline? You want to talk about a jaw exercise? Pause. Nigga. Bazooka Joe? Oh, remember the aha. This is when we was acting like we would mimic a white person from like the South when we was doing the big league gum chew. You know how they used to put the tobacco in their mouth and the side of that shit be packed up? And they'd be like, let me tell you here something, boy. Let me tell you something, boy. And you stand on one leg and whatnot. Let me tell you something there, boy. Yeah, that was the big league shit. The big shit. You know what I mean? I used to love that shit. So before we start starting, yeah, and McDonald's was cuisine, nigga. It wasn't no regular degular. Nigga, McDonald's was a cuisine. That's why don't get offended if a nigga try to take you there on the first date. He's just stuck in time. McDonald's was a reward system. Oh, you graduated? You're McDonald's, nigga. Oh, you valedictorian? Oh, McDonald's. Yeah, that was graduation food. Yeah, we get grown and we act like we all leveled up, nigga. Yeah, that was graduation food. The fuck? That's how we was giving it up. You got the toy, you got the apple pie, the fucking machines was working, the ice cream machines was working back then. You get the tall sweet tea, nigga. And the Whoppers taste different than they do today for your FYIs, nigga. For your FYIs. The Whoppers tasted different. We ain't talking about horse meat back then. This was real beef. Pause. Yeah, that's what it was. This shit was really flame broiled. Remember the Burger King? The burger was hanging off of the bun. Type shit. Yeah, real meat. Pause. They don't have enough cows in the world to feed you niggas these days. So you know what you're getting, right? You do know what you're getting. You do know what you're getting. That is not a cow, my nigga. That is not a cow. You feel me? Oh man. The McDonald's breakfast, the pancakes before we became Muslim, the sausage, huh? Pause. The hash brown hanging out of the fucking pack, nigga. The hash brown just chilling by itself, hanging out of the. We was tearing them shits up. That also was you had to do something good to get that. We wasn't just getting up and going to get a McDonald's breakfast before school. Who? Where? When? Nobody was doing that. You wasn't living like that. You couldn't even sell enough crack to do that, nigga. That was different. So we've been through a lot. We've been through a lot. No, don't say White Casket. Don't say White Casket. White Castle was that was like you would go and eat that after you finish cheating on your girl type shit. That was you know what I mean? that was like real guilty pleasure type of shit. Like you couldn't just go into White Castle with a clean consciousness. You had to do some negative shit. Then you would go and buy some White Castle. and whatnot. We let's not even start that. You know. But we've been through a lot. You know. You get 30 White Castle burgers for $3. Pop it. You know what I'm saying? Pop it. One ketchup pack. The shits was so small. One ketchup pack, you could put it on 2 of them burgers. No, we didn't have Crystals in New York. We had White Casket. Yeah, we didn't have Crystals. I had went on tour and I went down south, and that's the first time I seen Jack in the Box. I was in Texas. Like, what the fuck is this? You know what I'm talking about? What the fuck is this? This shit had mad like steak sandwiches and all kind of crazy shit. I'm like, this is different. This is different. We don't have this at home. You know? We didn't have that in New York. We wasn't, yeah, we wasn't privy to that. Yeah, Jack in the Box is in the West. No, my bad. It was Crystals with a K. That was in Houston, right? Or is it Jack in the Box in Houston? I've been to a lot of places, but that was the first I seen. I came down south. I seen Church's Chicken for the first time on Moreland Avenue in the 90s. I never seen no shit called Church's before because we don't got that in New York. I was like, what the fuck is this? I seen Crystals and I seen Jack in the Box when I went deeper down south. You know what I mean? This was like early 2000s. Yeah, Roy Rogers. Roy Rogers. Is Sonic in New York? It came later. It came later. I promise you, New York was Bojangles, right? Motherfucking Roy Rogers in the beginning. Motherfucking Wendy's, Burger King, White Casket, and McDonald's. That's what we was on. And we had IHOP if you was getting a few dollars. That's what all that extra shit that came later. I don't know about none of that other stuff, but we was rocking with that. That was our go-to. You know, that was our go-to. I ate Church's Chicken. I almost threw that shit up. Horrible. Horrible. You know what I mean? And who the fuck eats pizza with a pepper? Where did that come from? We was doing Domino's in New York. We had like real pizza parlors. You know what I'm saying? Like Domino's was frowned upon. But Papa John's with the motherfucking pepper, nigga? What? Like, who does that? Taco Bell. Yeah, we had Taco Bell, but nah, we wasn't doing Taco Bell like that. From what I remember, we wasn't doing Taco Bell. No Papa Murphy's. Nope. No Papa Murphy's. McDonald's before the human meat, we was doing that. You know what I'm saying? You know? Yeah, if you was in Domino's in New York, I don't know what was going on. I don't know what to say, because our regular pizza parlors that the Italians was running, that was where we was getting our pies from. You know, that's where we was getting our pies from. And them shits was official. You know what I mean? They had the Italians cooking that shit. So before they brought the Mexicans in, that shit was official tissue. The slices was heavy on the cheese. Yeah, Sal's Pizza was killing shit. You know? Pizza Hut. Yeah, Pizza Hut, right? That's what it was. It wasn't Domino's. It was Pizza Hut. Is the projects in New York different from the apartments in ATL? Yes, because think about it. You got 30 stories of people on top of one another. And then you have a 30-story building and it's 5 or 6 of them. So I remember being in the projects, right? And the energy was so condensed, right? That you could feel people's energy coming through your walls. Because remember, you got people stacked on top of you, to the side of you, and under you. So, and the walls have lead paint on them and whatnot, and something about the project walls, you know, they're made out of brick, right? But you could feel the you could feel, I don't know how to explain it, but you could feel the what's the word? The compounding energy from everybody around. And it's just very dangerous. You know what I'm saying? So the closest thing that I've seen to New York is Chicago with Cabrini Green and the projects that they had. But that's our projects is 20 something, 30 something stories, pissy elevators. You know what I mean? God forbid the fucking elevators broke and you went shopping for $300 and you got the wild heavy shopping carts. You feel me? With the 3 liter Pepsis and whatnot, and you got to carry that shit to the 30th floor. Yeah. Projects. They built the projects like the prisons. So yeah, we don't have no nature. It's a concrete jungle. The little courtyard is where they have shootouts, and it's like built up like cells. Yeah, like yeah. And when you go up north, you'll be like, God damn it, the prisons is built the same way that the projects is built. You know what I'm saying? The prisons is built the same way. It's like 9 stories, and instead of apartments, it's just cells. You know, it's just cells. I was in East New York. What projects was that? I was staying in. When I came to New York in '05 from Miami, I was staying in the projects for like 3 months, 2 months, and whatnot. And it was cool. You know what I'm saying? It was cool, but you know, it wasn't for me. You know, it wasn't for me. I broke down the it's called Universal 25 by John Calhoun. He was the one who did the experiments with the rats, and that's where they got projects from. Universal 25. And he did an experiment in the 60s and whatnot. And he worked for a company called NIH. And that's where they got they got a movie, a Disney movie or an animated movie, and it was about rats, and it had NIH in the title. We saw that as children. I don't remember the full name of the movie, but they literally wrote the movie based off of the information that they got from this experiment. And that experiment was what they built these projects off of. They were able to project, yes, the National Institute of Health. They were able to project the behaviors that people were going to succumb to based off of the research that they did on the rats. You know what I mean? So yeah, Queensbridge was the biggest in New York, right next to Rikers Island. You know what I'm saying? Don't be confused. Queensbridge, where Nas and all of these rappers are from. Rikers Island is like 10 minutes right from there, right there in Elmhurst. You know, Secret of Nymph. Yep, that's where it was. Secret of Nymph was the movie where it was in alignment with the Calhoun experiment and shit like that. You know? So it's all an experiment, you know what I mean? That's why I'm like, let's not be so judgmental and critical about the shit that we see, more so than teach and unravel it and demystify it. Like, I don't have no animosity to these young kids that are out here streaming, even though they be doing, you know what I mean? Like I said it before. The earliest I'm gonna like I said, I'm gonna do a powerful video that's gonna enlighten and it's gonna educate my audience, because I know that my audience, everybody, there's some people in here that's very knowledgeable about all things, you know, when it comes to the youth culture. But I think that a lot of my people, they you know, they're up to learn some things, you know what I'm saying? They want to learn some things. So I'm gonna teach. You know, I'm getting into teacher mode, and we're gonna learn some things. Vanderveer was an estate project. Yeah, Vanderveer is interesting. Vanderveer was interesting. Vanderveer was scary, bro. I ain't gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it 1,000 to you. That's a projects in Flatbush. Scary like a motherfucker when we was coming up. You know what I mean? Very violent, very scary. And you know, some of the drill rappers that of today, a lot of the drill rappers come out of Vanderveer. But before that, they had Flatbush Pulley Kids. They had buck wild niggas coming up out of there, and their guns went all the way off. A lot of shooters come out of there. French Montana's from the Bronx. Yeah, he lived near where I lived, by Bronx Zoo. Yeah. Yeah, he's a Moor from Morocco. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't want to talk crazy about him, but yeah, he got a story. I'm gonna see his documentary the same way that I watch Shines. I'm gonna watch French Montana's documentary. Both Diddy proteges, by the way. You feel me? I think French Montana was able to dodge the Diddy curse. This nigga's engaged to the Princess of Dubai. The fuck? This nigga. I don't know what kind of voodoo his mama working with, but he was able to get the Princess of Dubai. So all he got to do is keep his nose clean and he's set for life. Yeah, I Show Speed on Club Shay Shay. I didn't watch that. I'm going to watch it. You know, I Show Speed. He's the most zestiest out of them. You know what I mean? But like I said, at the end of the day, the youth, the younger generation, and this was something that I had to come to terms with, because when I first seen it, I was appalled. I was like, if you don't turn this shit off and get these little zesty niggas away from me, like it just turned, it was like, you know, but then then I had to think, I was like, this new generation, they weird, you know what I mean? They just weird. It's called trolling, you know what I mean? So the way that when we were coming up and we were teenagers, the word trolling didn't exist. You feel me? The word trolling didn't exist. So this new word trolling, where people are playing in front of millions of people or thousands of people, right? We didn't have social media when we was coming up. We were not in front of thousands and millions of people. You feel me? So the shit that we were doing in the hood and whatnot, they would be considered to be like gross. Like we would eat shit off the ground. Like let's say that we was eating a sandwich or a burger and it fell on the ground. We would like blow the burger off and then eat it. Like, you know what I mean? Or, you know, if we had some Skittles and the Skittles fell on the floor and whatnot, we were like, God made dirt and dirt don't hurt type shit. And we would blow it off. And then, you know what I mean? And then we would eat the shit, kiss it to God. And then people would be like, oh, you know what I mean? That shit is completely, that's gross. Like if we did that on film while we were streaming around millions of people around the world who don't understand cultural context, they would be like, yo, what the fuck is that I just saw? This nigga is eating off of the ground. They're gross. They're nasty. You know what I mean? Like, so it was shit that we was doing. Like we was doing, like, if you wanted to get down with us, you would have to get jumped to get in the crew. And we call beatdown line, right? We had a beatdown line because we didn't have a gang, we had a posse. So the beatdown line was like, if you wanted to be down with the crew, if you wanted to be down with the posse, MGP, you had to get beat down, right? So if we were to do that on Twitch, or if we was to do that on YouTube, or if we was to do that on a live stream, we would get what they call canceled. You feel me? Yeah, I know that they do DPs and they need to bring DPs back. To be honest with you, I said it before in the conscious community that if they brought DPs, which is more like discipline, right? It's when we hold each other accountable with our hands. You understand? Not beating on the women, but for the brothers and whatnot. If you mess up, if we heard that you hit your woman, if we heard that you was stealing, if we heard that you was doing foul shit, you would get beat down. You have to get DP'd and you can't fight back and whatnot. It would be a way to straighten you up. Squabble up, squabble up, squabble up, right? They don't do that, and they don't, they don't do that no more in my where I'm from. They don't do that. The community, I never seen nobody squabbling up in consciousness. I never seen nobody squabbling up since they got fucking quote unquote righteous. You know what I mean? And there'd be a lot of dudes in this community that need to squabble up because they got a lot of dirt in their jacket, but it's hard to hold people accountable. What you gonna do? You gonna call somebody out on YouTube? I'm gonna call you out. Nobody wants to fight. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to get squabbled up. Nobody wants to get DP'd and whatnot. But for men, that was a way that we kept each other in line before they started using guns and they started clapping back and everything. You know what I'm talking about? But it would be a way to keep people in line to be like, yo, you can't be out here wilding, my nigga. You can't be out here. I'm hearing things about niggas, and it's like, bro, you can't be doing that. Like, you gotta pull up, and we gotta handle this. We gotta handle this shit the right way, because we can't allow this shit to go down like that. So, I mean, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It might come back one day. Somebody said DP is double pennant. Come on, you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about discipline, not that stupid shit. You know what I mean? I'm talking about discipline, and we got to keep our minds out of the gutter for right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm speaking about discipline. I'm speaking about being checked, getting chin checked for violating. That's how we was. So if we were to do that on film, we would get canceled. Nobody would be, oh, they too rough. Oh my goodness, did you see them beat up my favorite guy? Oh my goodness, they beat up on my favorite guy. Oh my goodness, no, that's not right. Hotep, Ashe. Right? So when I see these young kids right now and they streaming and they going live and they showing people, how they move around as kids and whatnot. Yeah, they're doing dumb shit. They're trolling and whatnot. They're doing zesty shit. They be doing zesty shit. The Casanet Mafia-thon with Khalil, the little nigga, Khalil. He was supposed to be his son. And Ray, the Chinese kid, yeah, they out of order. They, you know what I mean? Them niggas is out of order. They out of line. They be doing some zesty shit. You know what I'm saying? They be doing zesty shit. But they're trolling. I hope so. I hope they trolling. As far as I know, Casanet is, he's done some weird shit in his come up and whatnot. You know what I mean? But as far as I know, he's not a, you know what I mean? He don't touch his toes. So, oh yes, it is a new moon tonight, y'all. It is a new moon tonight. You feel me? Maybe that's why I'm in the time machine, because this was not planned. I was not planning on getting into the time machine and getting super nostalgic and shit, but this happens. You know what I mean? So I just allow spirit to take over, and I allow the energy to do what it thou wilt, do what it must, and we just do it organically. I'm not sitting around with a fucking script in front of me. We just do this shit organically and we let it do what it do. But if we were streaming in the 90s, and if we were streaming back in the days when I was younger, when I was 17, and the shit that I was doing at 17 and 18, bro, I have a Rico by now. You know what I'm talking about? Like, it was a lot of shit that we was getting away with. So to see these young kids, they're not drilling, they're not selling drugs, they're not gang banging. You feel me? They're not into some of the negative shit that we're fighting against. I can't hold them to the same fire that I might hold a child, a teenager, or a young adult that's out there, and he's putting his life and other people's life at risk. Yes, the junction was definitely a haven of danger. You had to move wisely through the Flatbush Junction. You could get your shit rocked. You could get pulled up on very quickly by a Haitian, Jamaican, Trinidadian, Panamanian, FBA, you name it. They was all out there robbing niggas. You know what I mean? Faithfully. They get on a bus and get you. They jump in a dollar cab and take your shit from you. You know what I mean? So that's what it is. But yeah, man. I'm gonna do a video and I'm gonna talk about how the streamers have eclipsed the YouTubers, and it's a new day and age, you know, and people are gonna be looking to switch and to pivot moving forward. Either YouTube is going to pivot and they're going to offer more money and they're going to, you know, try to compete, or you're going to see a exodus where a lot of people are going to start doing the streaming shit, where you'll have 24-hour streams and motherfuckers that just be taking you into the all kind of all kind of avenues of their life. You know what I mean? All kind of, you know what I mean? Because literally the young boy, Casanet, he was streaming. They had the, like I said, McDonald's is behind him. So they put a lot of money behind the production. They got him a $55 million rental. You know, you could rent a mansion. You know, you could rent a mansion, right? So they rented a mansion. And what they rented a mansion in LA, and they basically had him chilling in a room, and he basically was having, because you in LA, you in Hollywood, so it's not hard to have, like, you know what I mean? The shirts, we shipping them out this week. Okay. Everything is coming out this week because I had to get all of y'all sizes and everything. So everything is going out this week. Most of the mansions and beach houses are empty down here. Yeah. So, yep. So, you know, this he didn't come out of his pocket. These people was like, yo, because I read the report when McDonald's signed him. So McDonald's was like, yo, we're gonna get behind. I Show Speed is not from Europe. He's from I Show Speed live in Detroit. But he goes over to Europe and he goes live and he streams in Europe. Because remember, we're talking about a global audience. So Casanet has 700,000 paid subscribers, right? 700,000 paying $5 a subscription. You do the math. But he's smart. He's very smart because he's not just talking to black kids. You understand? He's not just talking to black kids. He's not just talking to melanated children, or he's not just appealing to the hood. He has Ray, who's from Asia. You know what I mean? He has an Asian with him. And they go places. He definitely needs to stay with Kyrie and whatnot. Why would you say he's an agent? I'm wondering. Why would you call this? Why do you see him as an agent? I would love to hear that. But you know, they travel, they go to Europe, they go to Japan, they go to Africa. I think he's building a school in Nigeria. So they are snagging a global audience, right? Remember, we talking about children. Young is more young kids out here on the internet than there is old heads, right? So think about, it's mad children everywhere. You know what I mean? There's mad children everywhere. So they're tapping in because they want to, he's giving them that. You say you think he's an agent after the Union Square fiasco. How, Sway? How? How? If I got 100,000 followers and I tell my followers I'm gonna be live in New York City giving out PlayStations and gift certificates, and 4,000 niggas show up. You feel me? You met Dr. York in 94? Blessings. That's what's up. If I say that I'm going to be in New York City and thousands of kids show up because these children, once again, are on the internet. You understand? When you do something in the physical world and you big in the digital world, then you see what you see, where there's a fucking riot because so many children coming out the house. Keep in mind, I said these are younger children, not the older people. They're not working job. They're chilling. It's mad children. It's mad young youth out here. And when they come together, they get deep. They come together, they swarm. It's a lot of them. So if somebody says, yo, I'm doing a show and whatnot, and they show up deep, how the fuck is that an agent? Yeah, he could have brought on, yes. Please explain to me. Like, I be wanting to know people's logic. You know what I'm talking about? Cause that sounds like you're hating. He's an agent just based on how fast he got into wealth. He doesn't influence. Keep in mind, you can never compare a fucking 20-year-old, Kai Cenat, a streamer. Remember, I'm not a streamer. I'm considered what is called a YouTuber. The shit that I was doing in Harlem, the things that I'm doing online is non-comparable to what a 22 or 20-year-old is doing who's basically a streamer, right? The streamers, they're not, they could create content differently. Their whole approach, he's not a conscious person. It's not what he's here to do. He's a young man. And like I said, my son put me on to him back in the day, right? When he was with Aiden Ross. He wasn't even big like that. Aiden Ross, the white boy, the real zesty nigga, he was the one that was lit. So if I told, it's just the fact that if I told y'all to come out, y'all won't come out. That's the only difference between me and Kai Cenat. If Kai Cenat tell his audience, yo, meet me in Union Square, them niggas is coming out. If I say, yo, meet me in Union Square, y'all not coming out. So I won't be able to make the type of movie that he made. The minute that he made that movie, that's when all of the people with the money, right, the corporations, because this is about money at the end of the day. This is about that you, if they see that you have that much power, you damn right they're gonna want to fucking put you under contract. What are you talking about? They're gonna be like, this nigga's a problem. If he could bring out thousands of people just to get a fucking a PlayStation, this man has power. Let's go and look at the flash mob in Union Square that homie was talking about. He's an agent. He's an agent. He caused a riot in Times Square. Right? Like I said, so when my son put me on to him, he explained who he was. And this is when they were doing smash or pass. Who's familiar with smash or pass? Right? Smash or pass was the 20v1 before the 20v1. Right? This was like, yeah, when he shut down New York, everything changed. Right? So this is Kai, right? This is Fanum, a Dominican, I believe. They both from New York. You know I fucks with my New Yorkers. And you know I'm very proud that a New York kid is still, you know what I mean, is running the game and whatnot. So I'm biased. You know what I'm saying? I'm a root for my city because I know what my city is on, and I know where I know how bad it is in New York right now compared to 12 years ago when there was no violence. I know that the children in New York don't have nothing to look up to but gang banging and like and scamming and shit like that. I know that they need something to quote unquote, you know, they need something to give them some type of quote unquote, not just them, it's not just New York, it's all of these youth. So theoretically, it looked like a lot of people, but it's not a lot of people. These is just children. It's they fanned out, you know what I mean? Similar to how Chris Brown or some of these R&B or rapper niggas are having nigga. They just fanned out. So yeah, they came outside deep. They came outside deep. You know what I'm talking about? And it is what it is. It is what it is. But once he did this right here, he showed the powers to be. They need to pay attention to this nigga because he got too much power. Yeah, the shifters could have easily pulled that off if we decided that's what we want to do. We could shut down any city that we wanted to shut down. We just never did no shit where we was like, yo, we giving away some stuff to pull up. And you know, I'm not about following nobody. So let this young man do what he got to do. You know what I mean? But for my sons in them generation, this is who they look up to. These are the influencers. These are the creators that when you ask a child and you be like, yo, what you want to be? And they say a content creator, this is what they're talking about. They're talking about Kai Cenat. They're talking about I Show Speed. They're talking about those people. So him and Aiden Ross was bigger than him at first. And then him and Aiden Ross fell out. They don't rock. Aiden Ross is a white boy, and he's one of those Trumpers. He's down with the MAGA and whatnot. So, you know, Aiden Ross, he put him on. He had the big platform. You know what I mean? They used to do a dating show where they had like young boys risen up, what they call Riz. That means kicking it to the shorties. You know what I'm saying? Riz. They was kicking it to the shorties. They had like dating shows called Smash or Pass. So that's where I saw Kai Cenat like 3 or 4 years ago, and my son was putting me on to him, and I started paying attention to this streamer shit. Because before I was like, I didn't even pay attention to the streamers. They wasn't even on my radar. But because I'm tapped into the youth and whatnot, you know, this is where I'm at. This is where I'm paying attention to because, you know, I'm outside. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, these are some of the things that, you know what I mean? It's just, it's one of those things. It might not, yeah, Aiden Ross is a small hat. It might not influence you because you don't talk to the youth. You're not, you probably don't have no ties to the youth. Probably don't care about the youth. You probably don't talk to the youth. They don't talk to you, you know what I mean? And you don't have no love for the youth. And yeah, it's just different. I got love for the youth. I talk to the youth. I rock with the youth. I'm unk. You know what I mean? I give wisdom to the youth. I get stopped by the youth when I'm walking in the streets. You feel me? They know who I am. Some of them be like, yo, my mom's watches you, my dad watches you, my mama put me on to you, my uncle put me on to you, shit like that. So if they focusing on what I'm doing, I'm focusing on what they doing. If they tapping into what I'm tapping into their culture. It's a cultural thing. So I will never shun the younger culture because I have ties to that culture because I got children, first of all, and second of all, I don't really see age. You know what I mean? I'm a cool nigga. I could chop it up with an 8-year-old, an 18-year-old, and an 80-year-old. It don't matter. You know what I'm talking about? I got shit to talk about. You know what I mean? I'm relatable. You feel me? And I'm multifaceted. I'm not a one-trick pony. You know? So I'm just showing that, you know, this, keep in mind, this is Gotham City that you're looking at. This is not New York City. So when you're looking at this video, you're looking at Gotham City. You're looking at New York after it fell apart, right? He got locked up for this and everything because they said he incited a riot by bringing all of them people out there. But this is Gotham City. This is New York City that's #1 on the crime list. I broke it down the other day when I was reading the top 10 most dangerous cities in New York. No, yeah, no, an 8-year-old. Yo, you're gonna have to grow up or get blocked, my nigga. Because I have an 8-year-old, I got 8-year-old children. What are you talking about? So you thought New York was always Arkham Asylum? No. How? How did you think that? Look, I just showed you this. How could New York be Arkham Asylum when 12 years ago there was a, can you say that for your city? Have you ever witnessed this? Have you ever witnessed a day where there's no shootings, murders, stabbings, or violent crimes reported? Like, what the fuck was going on in New York City, right? 12 years ago that nobody made a phone call of. This is what? This is not normal. This is not coincidence. This ain't just no luck of the draw. Like, oh, today was just a day where none of this shit went down. No, nigga. That has to do with the frequency of that city. It wasn't just one day like that. There was years of peace in my city. There was years of peace in my city, y'all. You know what I'm talking about? We was in New York City doing mad fucking work, mad shadow work. We was lifting up the frequency of that city, bro. This is before the debate era, by the way, BTW. Huh? This is called a 0 day. If you understand anything about this is a 0 day. So this was the 0 day. And then after this day, other things started to occur and whatnot. Okay, 8 years later, you get 2020, and that's when it turns into the Arkham Asylum. But New York City was not always on that time. This article is very important. Very important, y'all. I promise you. This is very important. Okay? In a city of millions upon millions of people, no murders, no shootings, no stabbings, no violent crimes. The consciousness was fucking up. I remember me and Blue went to Cozumel, Mexico in 2012. We went to the Cayman Islands. We went on a cruise and whatnot. We brought that energy back to New York City and we was working that shit. Yeah, Beast Coast came out around that time. Flatbush Zombies, Pro Era. You know what I'm talking about? The underachievers. This is when Black Hippie was popping. The youth was waking up. The youth was waking up. So, nah, New York ain't always been Arkham Asylum. We gonna get it back to where the peace is back in our city, bro. I need that. I need that. I need to see an article come out where they like, yo, it was none of that quote unquote violence, murders, shootings. This day too. Today was a good day. You know what I mean? And then they started signing gangbangers to the radio, you know, fake ass Ebro, fake ass Def Jam, all of these fake ass labels with these corny ass Poindexters. Yeah, this is before the George Zimmerman, the Trayvon Martin factor, when they cast a fucking spell on all of Black America. On all, I don't like the Absol News album. I'm not, no, it ain't grow on me yet. You know what I mean? Before George Zimmerman casted his spell on the whole goddamn Black collective, the Black collective around the world, not just in New York, not just in America. They did that shit around the globe. Before they did all of that funky shit, we was going through a very peaceful time. BTW. In case you forgot, we've been through so much. It's easy to forget shit. But that's this is a result of the work that the conscious community in New York City was putting in fucking work big time before YouTube, before niggas started getting excited about seeing their faces on the TV screen and whatnot. We was working. I don't know what you niggas, bruh. We was working. We was working this fucking grid, bro. We was working the grid heavy. For real. You know? Would you go back to New York with the turnaround? They need your energy to continue to raise consciousness. Yeah. I would go back to New York. I don't have no qualms about New York, about going to New York and working the grid. I would do that. I would easily do that. You know what I'm talking about? I would easily do it now because that's my city. I got ties. I never really left. You know what I mean? I'm just down here, down south, doing this down south thing. But I just went to New York and I felt like my presence was needed there. You feel me? I did feel like my presence was needed there. And spirit was telling me, you need to get back up in this bitch. You know? Yo, Detroit. And I was reading a Facebook post. You know how they be giving you memories and whatnot. I had wrote Detroit was the blackest, most conscious city that I went to. This was in 2016. I wrote that on Facebook. Detroit was the blackest, most conscious, and they got some of the most beautifulest black women I've ever laid eyes on in the D, bro. Frex. You know what I mean? Frex. I like Detroit. And we went in 2016 and they was getting their shit together. They was building back then. So I could imagine where they at now with it. You know what I mean? We was going to like districts where young melanated people was owning shit. You know what I'm talking about? It didn't look like the Detroit that they be selling us this they look scary and whatnot. They was on shit. They was on shit when the things we went to Highland Park. We went to Nani's Cafe. You feel me? That's when I first seen New Era Detroit and all of them. I didn't even know that you could open carry out there. Niggas walking around with hammers. I was like, where am I at? You know, where the fuck am I at? I wasn't used to that. They don't have that in New York. You said Detroit is Chicago's brother who went to college. Detroit is different. But I know that I know they on that drill shit now. You know what I mean? I know that the consciousness shifted. The consciousness shifted everywhere. The record labels. We spent a whole hour and change talking about music that have been coming out through the record labels and whatnot. Yeah, in Gotham City with Penguin and Sophia, right? You feel me? Like the music is very instrumental in the culture, and they change the frequency of the music, and by doing so they are changing the frequency of the inhabitants who listen to the music, and they put them on demon time and whatnot, and they got them on a whole nother frequency. They got them switched to a whole nother channel, shit like that. You know what I mean? So yeah, Golden Child is doing this thing in Chicago with the unity movement. I had reached out to Golden Child to do something with him, and I'm looking forward to hearing back from him. Yeah, 125th Street is definitely not the same. I walked through that. I went live when I was out there. I went live. I walked through 25th. I was dapping it up with everybody. Felt like a homecoming, but the energy is just not the same. We got to go out there and build a whole nother energy if we were to do anything. One thing that I'm looking forward to is the relaunching of the National Black Theater. You know, the National Black Theater. That looks promising. You know what I'm saying? That looks promising. If they book me for a residency, I want a residency at the new Black Theater, at the National Black Theater when they reopened it. They built a whole high rise. They tore that whole shit down and they building some immaculate shit where it used to be, but they're going to restore the theater. So, you know, hopefully Nabi, who is the manager, will start bringing back the acts and whatnot and start booking us. And we'll be back in New York City talking our talk. You know what I mean? I'm going to try to get Kai Sinet as a special guest. You know what I'm saying? Or one of these streamers who have a lot of pull because, you know, we need them to come and talk to the youth. You know? You said it's 125th African now. Yeah. It been African. It been African. The Slave Theater in Bed-Stuy is gone. Gladiator 2 is trash. I seen it. It was trash. But yeah, 125th Street, because 116th Street is called Little Africa. So they built up 116th Street and then they took over 125th Street, like through the vending and shit like that. You know, they control the market because they are Africans are vendors at heart. They control markets. I did not hear from Brother Shabazz in a minute. So the Africans, yeah, the West Africans especially, they naturally control markets. Wherever you go where the West Africans are at, they're doing commerce. You feel me? That's what they do. When they in Paris, I don't give a fuck if they in Paris. I don't care if they in New York. Wherever they at, they doing commerce. So they don't have the hangups through FBAs and other people have where they don't want to sell things in open air markets. Like I've been telling people before, for me to stand on 125th Street selling clothes in an open air market, I had to tuck my pride. It took a lot of quote unquote pep talks from my son's mother and people who was like, it's gonna be all right, bro. And I'm literally crying and shaking, like, yo, I can't stand out there. What the fuck, man? I'm too good for that. What the fuck, man? What do I look like? Yeah, you Senegalese, so you know, Royal. You know what I'm talking about. I ain't capping. You know how y'all treated. Y'all gonna get to some bread. Y'all gonna sell something. Some Louis, Gucci, Fendi. You know what I'm talking about? Parasuco, whatever the hell you gotta sell, y'all are gonna sell it. And the Senegalese is mean with the scissors, so y'all do cut and sew. We would go on 116th Street, and I would get all of my shit tailored from the Senegalese. When I went to Dapper Dan, I was in Dapper Dan's. He had a Gucci bought him a brownstone. He got a brownstone at Gucci, and Gucci, you know, it's a Gucci spot, right? So we went to see him. It was me and Ben Gordon, and he was like, "Yo, it was the Senegalese that got him popping all the way back in the days with Dapper Dan." He was like, my whole fucking sweat lodge, or my whole all of my sewers, everybody that was my quote unquote my what's the word, the people that be doing the cutting and all of that, they was all West African. Yeah, 125th Street is definitely the Silk Road. Across 110th Street. I went to Mart Park and I fell in love with it. 2003. It captured my heart. Yeah, tailors. These are the tailors. The seamstresses and the tailors are the quote unquote Senegalese with the heavy scissors and whatnot. They get busy. You know what I'm saying? They were the ones who were the behind the scenes people who helped Dapper Dan when he was dressing drug dealers in the 80s. It was the West Africans who was working with him. And he was at the Mart 125 and whatnot. Yeah, I seen the Ferg interview. You see how conscious he got, right? You know, You see how conscious that he got? Ferg is super conscious. ASAP Ferg, mad conscious. I thought I was listening to a Yaki lecture. You know what I'm talking about? I'm like, damn. This nigga is he's repeating shit verbatim. You know? You was on Church Ave, Flatbush, and it looks like the old Harlem. Yeah. That energy shifted and moved around. Yep, I did hear that Flatbush is definitely mimicking that Harlem energy and whatnot. You know, I'm pro merchant. I'm pro merchant. I'm like, we need an open air market everywhere. You niggas need to tuck your pride and get a fucking table and put some product on that shit. I promise you. I don't give a fuck where you live. Wherever, if you live somewhere, you should be able to sell some shit wherever you live. That's my mentality. You should get it out the land. Wherever you live, put a fucking table up and a cloth on that table and put some product on that table. It don't matter what it is. That's how we was doing it in New York City. And I'm glad that I didn't let my ego get in the way. Because it took a lot for me to stand. I was shamed. I was in shame, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? I was shamed. My mama had to tell me it's okay. You all right. I was like, you sure? She was like, it's all right. I know you a jet setter. I know that you touch big bread, but you standing out here selling your own shit, it's all right. You could do it. And I was like, whatever you say. But I felt shamed. You know? I felt like a failure. Like, look at me selling shit in Harlem out of all. I'm a Brooklyn nigga. What am I doing? This was, of course, 2005. This was back in the days. And the word entrepreneur, people wasn't using that word. That word wasn't fashionable. It wasn't trendy to say, I'm an entrepreneur. I got my own shit. No, niggas was like, what is it? How do you spell that? They didn't know what an entrepreneur was. They didn't know what getting it out the mud. Nobody was talking like that. They was still selling DVDs, bootleg DVDs, and robbing and selling drugs and doing a lot of petty crimes. Niggas wasn't trying to get it out the mud. They wasn't trying to wake up every day and be independent. You should have seen how many niggas that was working 9 to 5s would walk past us with their nose up and whatnot. Same niggas in my inbox these days talking about Hotep, brother. Them niggas was curving us. You know what I'm talking about? They was curving us. I said this before that I had a story where I was on 125th Street, and you know how you could see niggas in your peripheral. I'm out there banging. I'm hustling. I'm standing next to Sarnetta. He got the bullhorn. It's lit. It's like 2007. I see a nigga in my peripheral and whatnot standing by a tree. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Somebody got the drop on me. So I look and shit, and I notice it's a nigga from Flatbush, one of these young niggas that grew up looking up to me, even used to buy stolen clothes from me. These Negroes came all the way to Harlem because there was a rumor in Flatbush that the almighty twin, that's what they would call the almighty fucking twin, was in Harlem selling clothes at a table. And these niggas could not believe it. They was like, no, not nigga, there's somebody that looks like him. It can't be Twin. Twin would never do that. Who are you talking about? And it was like, is he selling polo? Is he selling Hilfiger? Is he selling anything stolen? Is it Gucci on the table? They was like, no, this nigga selling Egyptian shit. He's selling fucking King Tut, nigga. And these niggas literally creeped uptown to peep me selling shit to laugh. You said they selling the Black Wall Street Mall? Word? I didn't know that. So How y'all got the email that they sell in the mall? I didn't know that. I won't buy it. You know, I won't buy it. So these niggas was like, yo, twin, that's you, son. That's you, twin. You know how everybody calling people twin these days, but back then it was really twin. Yo, twin. I was like, what up? What up, little niggas? That's you? Yes, it's me. What's happening? You want to buy a shirt? And they didn't laugh at me in my face, but the look of disappointment in their face was so crazy to me. You feel me? Like if I wasn't secure in what I was doing and who I was, I would have folded that day. Because these little niggas, the look of sorrow in their face could crush a man. It could crush a man. But I had a bankroll in my pocket. My rent had just got paid off of t-shirts. You feel me? My son probably was just born and whatnot. And I was like, what's popping? You good? And they was like, yeah, bro. I was like, all right, cool. Y'all stay up. And I left it at that. Fast forward, like 10 years later, both of these niggas is on the conscious wave, heavy, talking about, yo, niggas be talking about you and your brother everywhere that we go. Y'all legends. So LLC said, not all of us was laughing. You lived on 122nd and you was one of my first customers. Come on, man. Come on, LLC. Come on, man. You feel me? You I appreciate you. You have no idea. And when I see you, you feel me? I'm going to show you that appreciation because any of my first customers, y'all don't know how much y'all saved the brother's life. You feel me? I was every day, I was literally half, you know what I mean? Like I was sinking. The only thing that kept me afloat was the support because I was sinking. Because it wasn't like niggas ran out to support me every other day. It took years upon years upon years to get the real support on 125th Street. But I was patient and I played my part. And I just kept innovating, kept creating, kept making new clothes and whatnot. And I stayed faithful and I broke through. But it was not easy because they didn't care if I was getting bread. Because where I came from, me getting bread, I was wearing diamonds, my nigga. Like, you don't understand. Me getting bread meant that I was supposed to have the trappings of a nigga getting bread. And you know, I had cuffs on, I had an ankh around my neck. I completely transformed. I completely switched up. I didn't have no polo on. I think I had holes in my polo boots that I was wearing. My nigga, my shit was talking at some point in life out there. My nigga, my boots could have did interviews on Sinetta. My polo boots could have had their own playlist on Sinetta TV. That's how much they was talking. You know what I mean? But I just had to do what I had to do. You know what I'm saying? I sacrificed. Yeah, if we were selling crack, we would have been heroes. If we was doing stick-ups and whatnot, we would have been heroes to these little niggas. We would have been legends to them until we got our shit pushed back. Then they would have showed up at our funeral to talk shit. Because that's how they do you. You know what I mean? So don't ever allow none of these young kids, I don't give a fuck how they look up to you. Don't let no nigga your age, don't let nobody older than you. Don't let anybody ever try to make you feel lesser than, especially if you know what you doing is righteous. The minute I started getting some righteous bread, there was nothing that was going to change that for me. I was never going to go back to being unrighteous after that. The minute I started realizing I could pay my bills by selling shit that I thought of, that I designed and I made and whatnot, there was nothing. I don't give a fuck if Crack himself came up to me and tried to hand me a bag, my nigga. I wasn't going for it. I was like, nah, I'm good, my nigga. I'm living this one out. I'm gonna follow this one through because in 2007 We did not know that we was going to be YouTube stars. We did not know that this shit was going to do what it was going to do. We had no idea of any of these things. To be honest with you, we was a little more back. I mean, we, you know, in the earlier days, we was going harder than we probably go these days. You know what I mean? Because we was trying to prove ourselves to master teachers, people like Bobby and Phil and Delbert and them, who wouldn't even look your way unless you was on a certain type of frequency. You couldn't stop niggas in the street and talk to them. You couldn't just stop and, yo, Bobby, I want to holler at you, sir, son. You know what I mean? You couldn't inbox Delbert Blair. You couldn't inbox Phil Valentine and curse them out. You couldn't leave. If you even talk crazy, you was gonna get a beat down. You wasn't gonna talk out of the side of your neck to none of the master teachers ever, because they wasn't gonna put their hands on you. They had crowds of people. You see the videos. They had crowds of supporters around them. They wasn't going for no side fucking talk, no side, no out of the side of your neck type of talk. They was stepping on all of that. So I'm like, man, I did what I had to do. Feel me? I stood the test of time. It was not easy, but I ran so you niggas could fly. Feel me? I ran so niggas could fly. That's a fact. We did the heavy lifting. We made it to whereas people could come out with clothing lines and become millionaires overnight. We made it to where people could pop out and go viral and do all of this crazy shit that they doing and whatnot. You know what I mean? We did all of that. My brother damn near blue pill, got choked out by the police on 125th Street and threw all of them niggas off of him. They tried to George Floyd my brother, and they got it on tape. You know what I mean? Sinetta stood there filming that shit. They try to snuff his lights out, bro, in real time. And I wasn't even there. I was at Sony. No, I was at J Records doing that shit. You know what I mean? I had to find out when I got out of the job. Yo, your brother almost got killed. They locked him up in Harlem. Wait, what you talking about? Ah, nigga, they choked him out. What do you mean? He is calm. He wasn't doing nothing wrong. He made the mistake of trying to help a young brother who was getting arrested for selling bootleg DVDs. They were not a part of our camp, but we was protecting because it was a family out there. So even if you was selling weed and you was rolling dice, or you was selling bootleg DVDs or bootleg music and whatnot, you was protecting us and we was going to protect you. You feel me? So Blue Pill was like his guardian angel. Yep. He just popped out of nowhere and them niggas hopped on him like 8 police, try to choke my bro out. So after that, I couldn't leave 125th Street. Once that happened, I'm like, y'all almost took my brother, bro. We gotta shut this shit down. So we just hugged the block from that day and was religious with it. And we was like, nah, we taking this shit over. And all of those police, the sergeant, the lieutenant, everybody left. Everybody disappeared. They all got whatever demoted or whatever the fuck happened. And we stood that test of the time, and we was able to raise the frequency not only on 125th Street, but around that whole city, bro. Around that whole city, to the point where people are having conscious conversations in barbershops and in hoods and whatnot, like it's normal, like it's regular, like it's regular. You know, that's what happened. You know what I'm talking about? So to go back there and to put on for the city one more again and to help raise the frequency, I'll be honored to do it. You know what I mean? I look forward to it, as a matter of fact. I'll be honest, because, to keep it a buck, I'm getting bored in Atlanta. Kind of getting bored out here. I think my work is done. You know, in this city, there's not too much to do out here. So we'll see. You know what I'm saying? We'll see what it is. But with that being said, we at the 3 hour mark. It's been a joy. We was gonna do a call in, but we've been calling in from the chat room. So we'll do that probably on Melanin. No, we'll do that probably tomorrow for Sacrilegious Sundays. We're gonna bring it to Sacrilegious Sundays because we got some things that we want to build with y'all about moving into the December. We want to know who our next special guest is gonna be on the lectures. So we're gonna do a little voting tomorrow, and we're gonna open up the lines. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, gods and goddesses, Moors and Mobites, sign up for the Twitch. Make sure y'all sign up for the Twitch. Oh yeah, and we got this sale still going on. Check us out. Let's go to the commercial and then we out. We got the sale coming. Black Friday. The link is in the description. You feel me? Oh, we got that new Kendrick drip. You know what I mean? We got something for the goddesses, the earths. You know what I mean? This for the ladies. You know what I mean? And everything is 30% off. The whole store is 30% off with the code on checkout called Black Friday. All right. And you will be able to get your merchandise. We're going to be doing this all the way up into Cyber Monday. So take full advantage. Everything is 30% off. The Mart 125, the link is in the description. And the mods is also going to be sharing a link. So with that being said, make sure y'all hit up the Buy Me a Coffee, show support to the channel. This channel is supported by the people because it's for the people and it's supported by the people. You know what I'm talking about? And we appreciate all of your support, and you will be able to claim this song that you'll be hearing, the Facts Remix. Anybody that supports through the Buy Me a Coffee, you automatically have the rights to the song. You can claim it as yours and you could download it and it will be your song. You can ride out to it and enjoy it. So with that being said, love and light to the people, and y'all stay dangerous, and we will see you tomorrow, inshallah.
Red, blue, purple light, friends. Red, blue, purple light, friends. Facts. Red, blue, purple light, friends. Red and blue, purple light, friends. Facts. Get to know the ledger, sacrilegious Sunday to Melanin Monday. You can get to know the ledger, my love. Just open your third eye on Thursday. Lord, the food, the art, the clothes, the Vatican's getting exposed fast. We put the show on the road. You better stay on your toes. I was till the land focused on the ego. Then I opened my heart, let go of the ego. Grand after grand, we stacking up these C notes. Facts, facts, yeah. We gon' put this shit on our back. Facts, facts. We in your city, pull up where we at. Facts, facts. Peace, love and light. Peace, love to the family. Peace, love and light to the family. Peace, love and light to the family.
These days and time, black man, is going to be the time that you have been waiting for. You came here for a reason. Whatever pressure, whatever adversity, whatever the fuck you feel, I don't know what you feel, but whatever you may be feeling is going to push you, and it's going to provoke you, and it's either going to make you or break you, similar to how pressure busts pipes or the shit makes diamonds.